Howdy, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to another live stream. Today, we're playing more Starfield, heading back out into the field of stars to look for treasures on Earth and Mars. We've not been to Earth yet, and we're probably not going back to Mars today, but first, let's see if the audio is working. Streamed. It sounds so good and fine and functional. All right, well, we are back here, and I'm trying to remember what we did last week when we left off. I know I said that we were going to pursue the main story at all costs, but where does that leave us? There's a large anomaly on a distant planet. Ooh, that's right! Yeah, okay. So in the last one, we got superpowers that we've not really figured out how to use to any appreciable degree. I think we can do something with gravity, but we tried it a couple of times and nothing really happened that we could see, but somehow we have gravity powers. And now we are heading to acquire the power on Cassiopeia 2A, which I know that I pronounced correctly, no doubts. There's a large anomaly on a distant planet that matches the signature of one of the artifacts. I need to find it. So I don't know what this is going to end up being. Maybe we're about to get another ship of some kind or something like that. I don't know. Also, wait, can we go back to that screen? Do I have some sort of health statuses right now? You have an affliction. Take the corresponding remedy to cure it. I had no idea that I was under these sorts of... Oh my gosh, I'm nauseous. Food and drinks are less effective. I have a dislocated limb. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know what to do about that. I'm pretty well rested, though. That's good to see. What are my options? Do I just need to go take something? If I go in here to, like, my, somewhere around here we have aid, right? So do we have anything that'll cure this? I think if you find something that'll cure it, it'll have the appropriate symbol next to it. Am I just, like, also carrying too much? I'm not carrying too much. Okay, well, it looks like I have absolutely nothing to treat either of my current ailments, so that's good. I guess we're just going to have to tank them and live with them. Maybe if we go take a nap on the ship or something, we might be able to deal with that. Oh my gosh, Jake Yates, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Yeah, the eclipse, that's cool. So it went right over you. Okay, so I was not aware today that there would be an eclipse, but I woke up this morning and there was sort of like a family breakfast at my family's house, my parents' house. And so we were over there eating, and then about the time I was leaving, I was going to go do some chores in town and then come back here and do the stream. I opened up the front door and I was like, oh, something is wrong outside. And I had no clue exactly what it was. I just knew that something was wrong because the light was weird, is the best way I can describe it. It looked like, if you've ever seen footage from the moon, when we definitely had a real moon landing that wasn't staged, that's one of the most infuriating conspiracy theories, because of all the real conspiracy theories that are like verifiable and provable and make sense, that one makes no sense at all. But we're not going to go there, okay? If you ever look at the moon has like no atmosphere. Well, basically no atmosphere, so light just kind of hits it and it doesn't disperse properly. That's kind of what it looked like outside. I opened the door and all of the shadows were extremely hard, like extremely harsh shadows, and the sky, it just looked like it was 20% less bright outside. It's the best way I can describe it. It was like someone put the image of the outside in Photoshop and just lowered the brightness. I was like, what is wrong? And we kind of all looked outside, and my mom came around the corner. She's like, it's probably the eclipse. And I was like, I'm sorry? There's an eclipse today? No one told me. Well, then I had to go drive around and do errands in those conditions, which, look, once I figured out what was going on, it wasn't that bad. It's not like it completely ruined the day for me and I couldn't function or anything like that. It was very concerning at first, because I had no idea that there was going to be anything like that today. But yeah, eclipse, that's fun. My friend Trace, a little bit later, ended up sending me a picture of a homemade, like, little pinhole thing that he did, and he sent me a picture of the eclipse through that, so it just like shines the light of the sun down through this little hole, and you can watch the eclipse go past the light in the hole on the ground. Very cool stuff. I did none of that. I just ran groceries and then I came home. By the time I came home, it was thankfully done. I ran groceries. I ran errands. Part of that was buying groceries. I didn't run the groceries. We didn't go for like a jog or anything with the groceries. That would have been interesting, though. I'm not sure if they would have enjoyed it. A lot of the stuff I got was like perishable and meltable and whatnot. Where exactly am I trying to get to right now? I did track that quest, didn't I? Can I zoom out a bit further? Oh, it's way the heck over there. That is officially the longest trip we've ever taken, and I'm assuming the game is not going to allow that. It's going to tell me I've never been there before. But we might be able to go to Bessel here first. Bessel Piazzi, if we can set course there. Yeah? Can we do a jump directly, please? And then we'll have to make the second jump.
Direct hit to their grav drive.
Oh, fantastic. Good. We're doing a space battle. Great. I guess we're just stuck doing this too. There's no getting out of it. I kind of hate these. I'm really bad at them. If there's one thing I've learned... We do have a new ship, though, since the last time we did a proper space battle. And we have some different abilities that we can use here. So we'll see what happens. I'm trying my best here. Are they just too far away? What's going on? Am I hitting them? It doesn't look like I'm hitting them. We gotta remember that we also have on G, we have lasers. Oh, so that's just like classic lasers. Oh, those like lock on too. Okay. Oh, those are like overpowered. Hold on, let's go get hopefully some ship parts out of that, because we ran out of ship parts previously. Oh, and the whole game is now locked up. We're off to a fantastic start here today. Yeah, I wouldn't... It was even different than that, I'll say, because when you have cloud cover, it's pretty obvious you see clouds. There were no clouds. That's the weird part. It was like a perfectly clear sky. Perfectly clear, like, deep blue sky. And just not the right brightness for that. You know what I mean? That's, I think, what was probably throwing me off. Okay, I guess the game is broken. I don't know what to do. Okay, alright, yeah, fine. I guess I'm gonna have to, like, try to tab out of this. Can I tab out of this? Does Alt F4 work on Linux? What am I supposed to do? Oh, it's completely frozen. Okay. Let's see. Force quit application Linux. Let's see what we got. Click the X in the corner. Wow, thanks. That's helpful. That's immensely helpful for what I'm trying to do here. How do I force quit apps and programs? Oh! Oh, that's convenient. That'll work right there. That'll work just fine. Alright. We will, hello? Oh. Do I have to, like, use keys? Keyboard. Force quit. Okay. App is closed. How are you doing today, Jake? Post clips. How is everything going? Aside from that, I gotta tell you, oh, the other day... Hey, here's a fun fact. I think it was earlier this year. I want to say it was like before the summer. It could have been last year, but I think it was earlier this year. I heard the sound of my dog, Benjamin, like going crazy in the backyard. Okay, so this is a story I think I've told on stream before, but I went out there. I was in my bathroom, so I looked out the window, and he had what looked like a bright multicolored rope in his mouth that he was just like swinging back and forth. And it took me a second to comprehend. I was like, where did he get a rope from? Oh, that's a coral snake. And so I went outside with a shovel, and he was so pleased with himself. He was like having trouble sitting down, just like panting and like. I was like, yeah, you did great, boy. Good job. You could have died, but you did good. Yep, that red and yellow, kill a fellow. That's what you've managed to do here. Good job. Throw the snake over the fence. We go about our lives, okay? I think that was the start of this year. A couple days ago, Ben's in the backyard going crazy. I go to check. Bigger coral snake. Now, it's weird that it was another coral snake, because I've never, outside of the one that he killed earlier this year and the one that he killed a couple of days ago, I've never seen a coral snake. I think my brother-in-law killed one on our front porch when I was a little boy. But aside from that, that's just like not what you see. The majority of the snakes that I've seen in my life are like, they're so insignificant that I don't even know what type of snake they are. You see them and you kind of do like a double take and you're like, oh, and then you realize like, okay, it's some kind of like chicken snake, grass snake, rat snake. The classification's not important, it's fine. And then you just kind of go about your day and you don't really pay it any mind. Okay? And then of the dangerous snakes that you see around here, it's normally going to be either a water moccasin or coppermouth, depending on who you ask. Both titles are technically correct. Or it's going to be like the copperhead, right? Like those are the two. Coral snakes exist. Coral snakes, though, are like rattlesnakes. In my entire life living here, I've seen one, and it was dead on the side of the road. And my dad got it and put it in a bucket to play a prank on someone with. That's like the one rattlesnake I've seen. And then, again, coral snakes, I just don't see them anywhere. But apparently they make pilgrimages pretty regularly through my backyard, because the other day, Ben had another one. It was much bigger. It's probably the biggest coral snake I've ever seen. Now, it wasn't massive. It was maybe like the length of my arm, possibly. And it was pretty decently thick. He got it, he brought it to the door, and he was barking incessantly. And that's how I figured it out, because I was like, what is he barking about? So I went to go check, and he got another one. And I'm like, good boy, you know? I don't want a venomous snake. You can have sympathy for the snake if you want to. You know, that's fine. I don't. Oh my god, that was terrifying! Oh my god, there's just... Hi! Speaking of pets, I suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, saw this massive creature looming. It was my cat on its back legs trying to, I guess, just stretching against the window. Hi, Rex. How are you doing? Anyway, I don't pity the death of a venomous snake moving through my backyard. In fact, I'm very grateful for the service that Benjamin has provided us. Okay, we're going to, first off, can I do a save inside the menu? It doesn't look like it. Do we set course to here again, or do we set course to Altair and hope that we don't end up in another space combat situation? I'm going to do that. But yeah, big shout out to Ben. He's doing great work out there.
Research Outpost U-309 to any and all Freestar Collective craft. We are under heavy fire. Hostile spacers are overrunning our position on Altair 2. I'm not sure how much longer our outpost can hold on. We don't have much time. Private Mahoney out.
We gotta hold on a little bit longer, because I'm not helping you right now. I've got other things to do. I'm literally just stopping by here on my way to a completely different system. I like your blue planet, though. Can we make the jump from here, or are they gonna make me... They're probably going to make me... Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and do this, right? Like, let's click out of this. Let's do a quick save. We're going to go back into it. And then from there, we can go ahead and plot this course. And we know we're going to be in for another space battle, allegedly. Speaking of things that Ben has done, okay? Listen. And I see some messages in the chat I'm going to read here in a second. But real quick, one other story. Okay, so this one happened, I think it was the night before last, maybe 2 nights ago. So this is...
A whole new set of stars.
Oh, no bad guys. Cool, let's do another save, just in case the game crashes. Alright, so Ben... listen, I like to listen to, not like scary, crazy stories, right? But I do like to listen to sort of, like a Mr. Ballin video, or a Lore Lodge, or a Wendigoon, or something like that. And I was listening to I don't remember what the story was. It was a kind of creepy story, and it was about... I can't even remember the details of what I was listening to. I just remember I was listening to a kind of creepy video while I was cleaning up the kitchen after dinner, and Ben was barking at something in the backyard. And I was like, oh, he must have... Like, no shot. He must have gotten another snake already. Like, there's just another one passing by. So... I get around the corner, and the first thing I see is Ben is barking at something out in the yard, not something directly at his feet, or at the door to get my attention to let me know he just killed something, right? So I take a couple more steps, and there is this, on the property line, right on the other side of the fence, leaning over the fence and looking at Ben, this behemoth shadow, this huge figure, this mass of just darkness, and it's like sunset, so it's already not super bright, and it's like leering over the fence, and I do double step, like a double take, and I just stagger backwards. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, that's a horse. It's just a horse. I don't know where it came from. I have no clue at all. It was just on the edge of my property, like looking at my dog, like, what's up, man? Can I come back there? You want to be friends? Can I live here? Ben was having none of it. It was so scary, though, right? Like, had the circumstances been slightly different, was I not already, like, on heightened alert from listening to something creepy? Had there not just been the snake incident a couple of days before, I imagine I would have walked around the back corner and just seen a horse and been like, oh, that's a horse. But I went around that corner and I was like, Bigfoot's here! It wasn't, unless he was in disguise. It could have been Bigfoot in disguise as a horse. I'm not sure. The quality of light was that way, yes. You're absolutely right. Very much like a rainy, overcast day. Is that a real story? Oh no! That is a novel use for a bidet, and to be fair, if you've ever seen a bidet in action, kind of looks like a water fountain. And in fact, you know what? Mechanically, bidet identical to a water fountain, so I can understand how a young fella might imagine that is its purpose. And so conveniently located. I just finished expelling liquid, now I need to take more in. Here we go. That's great. That's a great story. Alright, we're gonna do something here we don't normally do. We're gonna scan the planet for some reason. I don't know what this, like, nets us, other than, I guess we can tell that there's lower gravity. It's got a temperate temperature. Thin CO2 is the atmosphere here. Okay? No fauna, no flora. Water is biological? I don't know what that means. And we've got a few different resources. It's got 2 hidden traits. Cool. Alright, I think we want to land there is what we want to do, though. Specifically down here at the scanner anomaly. So, let's hop down. I've got to get muscle memory down on my red dragon. I have to keep looking at it. I keep getting confused about where things are. I'll tell you what the issue is. So you know how, like, under the X you normally have pretty much nothing but Alt and space? Under the X on mine, it goes Control, Function, Alt, N, and P. Now, I appreciate adding N and P there where I can get to it with my fingers. Not that it helps me much in this particular game. Let's exit ship, though. I don't think N and P is currently mapped to anything. It is coming in handy. Okay, cool. P brings up this screen. If I wanted to go ahead and, like, upgrade some stuff with skill points, that's actually kind of handy. I like this ability here, where it's 2 people, like, spitting on each other, and then someone's sprinkling fairy dust on top of this person's head, and they've got a big brain. Love that one. That one's just a ton of fun. Really appreciate that. And then we also have theft that we're trying to rank up, lest we forget. And then what's going on over here? Did we ever end up, like, boosting... What is this one? Challenge. Sprint... what does this do? Increase total carrying capacity. Sprint for 5,000 meters, while at 75% or more of your maximum... Oh, we're going to be there in absolutely enough time at all. It just happened! Okay, that just happened. The bidet incident just occurred. Who are you? You're Sarah. Okay, I want you with me. Come along, Sarah. We've got to figure out where the heck we're going. I actually don't know where the heck we're going. Scanner anomaly. I guess it's this direction? Is that... Hold on. What is that? Unknown. Are we supposed to be heading in the direction of the distortion? Probably this direction. Maybe it's that large sort of thing there in the distance. Can we put down a mark? It would be cool if we could. We can view the surface map on G. Wow. That's super handy. What a wonderful map. Very useful. Oh, wait a minute. Well, okay, you gotta open the scanner first. That was a mistake. From this screen, you can also fast travel to your ship with R. I had no idea you could do that from this screen. That sure beats just trying to, like, get close enough to lock onto it. It kind of raises the question of why I haven't just been doing that every time I've landed on a planet. And I'll answer that question right now. It's because I did not know. What is this? Is this broken, or is this meant to be floating? Maybe this is what we're here for. This is sort of the situation, right?
I've heard people who spend extended periods in low gravity can actually suffer from health problems if they don't exercise to compensate.
That's true, Sarah. That's why people who live on the International Space Station have to work out a lot, because otherwise their bones will get brittle, and their muscles will, like, atrophy because they're not being used properly. So you gotta do some pretty intensive, I think, like, weight training. And I don't know about cardio, but maybe. Oh yeah, here we go. Acquire the power. So here's the deal. I've already forgotten, first off, how to use the power. I don't remember what it's equipped to, and I hope that the game will remind me, because I have no clue whatsoever. Do you remember? Listen. 500 years ago, like, first off, assuming all things the same, it's you, it's your son, you're living 500 years ago. You know, the situation would be different. So, yeah, he would survive, because first off, he wouldn't have had a bidet to drink from, so that wouldn't be a concern. Okay? And then secondly, like, you know, we're very privileged where we live and when we live right now, where if your son drinks from a bidet, he's going to be okay, you know? Whereas 500 years ago, you as a parent would probably be a little bit more, well, I don't know, would you be more strict? I guess we wouldn't know about germs, would we? We wouldn't really have any concept for that. So would you be like, hey, don't lick sewage water, son, you'll catch tuberculosis or whatever? Maybe you wouldn't, because we didn't actually have germ theory completely figured out back then. So actually, yeah, maybe you wouldn't have survived. But to be clear, you probably wouldn't be alive either. I definitely wouldn't be. Are you kidding me? Although, again, that's like, oh, me today living 500 years ago. I'd already be dead. But if I was born 500 years ago and sort of like conditioned to that world, would I be fine? I have no idea. Was I like chasing the wrong thing that whole time? Do these actually like disappear if you don't get to them fast enough, or is that my imagination? Because it definitely feels like that's what's happening. Also, this is, like, so boring. Who came up with this as a game mechanic? Go to the giant room with the flying lights that are twirling and whirling inside. Fly through them. The thing in the middle of the room will slowly... Also, I want to throw out there, the game does not tell you to do this. We just did this last time. And I was not convinced the entire time it was what we were supposed to be doing. It was only after doing it, like, 40 times, and she said, it's working, it's charging up, that I was like, okay. Well, I guess we're doing the right thing, then. I don't know if I'd stayed here any longer not doing that, if she would have mentioned something to me about it. Get out of the way, Sarah! Also, I can't even remember whether or not it was Sarah who was with us during that. It could have been the other fella. There's no indication that you're, like, getting to them, other than that sound. There's no indication of how much longer you have to keep doing this nonsense. Why isn't she participating? Doesn't she want magical powers as well? Or is it limited to, like, only one person can have the magical powers at any given time? Please be the last one. Please be close. The boost pack doesn't really help at all. I keep using the boost pack, and I don't think it's doing it for me. See, that might be a sound of me missing it. I might not be getting to them quickly enough. Should I not even bother trying to get to them if they've been up for a certain amount of time? Should I just, like, wait until I see one start to form and then head to it? Like, I definitely flew through that one. There we go. We've hit the arbitrary amount necessary to make something interesting happen. Alright, now we're passing through to the other side. We're inheriting the... Oh! Yeah, come on, get in here with us, Sarah. It'll be fun. We're all getting magical powers together. We're gonna see the creation of the universe. Oh, yeah. We know what that means. Lots of implications. Do you want to talk about this at all?
Now that we have a moment, I wanted to ask how you're feeling.
Oh, man. I mean, I feel a lot of different things right now.
You've given everyone at the lodge quite a scare.
What time period do you think you could... Like, what... This is going to be a weird question for you, Jake, and anyone else who's watching. If you could go back to another time period, not forever, like, let's say you had to pick a particular period of time to spend a whole year in, which one would you like to go to, and which one do you think you'd actually be able to survive? And I don't know if we're going to put limits on what you can do during that time period. I guess I'll say you can't just be like president or king, but I suppose you could pick any sort of other profession and just be like dropped into it. And I'll be thinking about it too, because I don't know. I don't feel any different than I felt before I discovered this place. I feel strangely powerful, like energy is coursing through my veins. I wouldn't know if we said anything like that in-game. I feel confused, like I don't understand what's happening to me. That one!
That's a very reasonable answer.
That's the one!
According to what I've heard, your body absorbed an almost unquantifiable amount of energy of a type we can't even begin to understand.
That is what's happening, I guess.
We're dealing with something unknown to modern science. Who knows how this encounter has affected your body or your mind?
Yeah, listen, I appreciate the concern. No, we're not going to say that. Ooh, that would be funny. Is the energy dangerous?
Although I don't know the exact nature of the energy you absorbed, I'm fairly certain it means you no harm.
You can't know
I
that.
don't have any scientific data to back that up, so you'll just have to trust my intuition. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
I worry, though, is the issue. I don't know about... Okay, well... I guess we can just leave.
Okay.
We don't need to wrap up the conversation. We can just say that's good enough. Hey, watch what we can do. We can hit F and then G, and my poisoning's been cured, by the way. And then we can just hit G again to return to ship. Or maybe we can't. F and then G. Did it not say G? Oh, to return. Fast travel to ship is on R, naturally. Yeah. I mean, what I'd like to do is just fast travel, you know, back to wherever we're supposed to be going next for the story. Activities, talk with Sarah Morgan. Really, again, do I need to? I feel like her and I just had a pretty decent conversation out here. I think that we're done. That's just not a whole lot going on, is it? It does definitely look like it wants me to stay here, though. Maybe I do need to talk to her to wrap this up. Okay. That's fine, then. Let's just get up. I think it could be... Oh. Why couldn't we just have this conversation back there? Why did it need to be aboard the ship? Hello? Hey. I'm trying to talk to
Now
you.
that we have a moment, I wanted to ask how you're feeling.
Wait, we already had this conversation.
After your experience at the temple, you've given everyone at the lodge quite a scare.
Well, I mean, look, we've already talked about this. Why are you suddenly so concerned about how I'm feeling?
Why am I concerned? Let's think for a moment. Ah, yes. It isn't exactly an everyday occurrence to stumble across a mysterious temple and absorb some type of strange alien energy from within.
That's fair. Look, listen, I don't need your sass, okay? Do we want to go the exact same course of answers that we did before?
We're dealing with...
Okay, this is where we got to last time, and I think that this time I'm going to say, take me to your leader, human.
I know you're simply trying to brush this off with humor, but you really should act more concerned.
I don't need your sass
That
right
temple
now,
proves
okay?
we're dealing with entities of unknown origin. The problem is that we can't even begin to guess what their intention was towards us and where they've gone.
I don't think malevolent beings would have granted me this new ability. If these beings wanted to harm us, I'd already be dead. Now you're starting to worry me. You think it was built by aliens. Let's ask that question.
It's a possibility I've considered, but I'm not 100% convinced. The only thing we can be certain of is that the technology we've encountered points to beings that live outside the settled systems.
I mean, what if it's ancient humanity who explored the stars and built all these temples and then wiped out by something, maybe like a plague or an invading species or something, and then what was left ended up on Earth, okay? And now we're just rediscovering our own past. I always like that sort of a twist in a sci-fi thing. I know it's been done quite a few times, but, you know, when you find out that, wait, the aliens are us, that's always a bit fun for me. Now you're starting to worry me. If these beings wanted to harm me, I'd already be dead. That's not true. They might be using me in order, and that's why I don't like this one either, because they could be like giving me all this power and then taking over my brain and using me as a weapon against my fellow humans. But I'm going to go ahead and say, just because I want to get through this conversation, I don't think malevolent beings would have granted me this new ability.
Perhaps. It's just that... Oh, I'm afraid that we're flying almost completely blind here.
No, we absolutely are. We have no clue what's
All we
going
know for
on.
certain at this point is that whoever created the artifacts are the same beings that built the temple.
I mean, we don't know that. They could have found the
just
artifact.
guesswork.
Facts.
I might as well put on a blindfold and toss darts at theories written on the wall.
1,000,000 years ago, ancient humans could have gone through these exact same stages. They found these artifacts. They built these temples. They realized the artifacts were dangerous. They hid them around. They shrunk back to Earth, and now we're just doing a repetition here. Constellation's never heard of these temples before?
As far as Constellation's concerned, you're the first human we're aware of that's ever encountered one of these places.
That's a lot of qualifiers. As far as we're
whether you consider
concerned,
that lucky or not,
you're the first human
that's
we've ever
another matter
heard
entirely.
of. Goodness gracious. I would thought this would be exciting for you.
Oh, believe me, this is positively exhilarating. Think about the significance of this research. The questions it raises alone are mind-boggling. Who was this wondrous structure built to accommodate?
Or what?
How long ago did these entities inhabit our universe?
Or did they?
Are they still out there?
Or are we them? All the great questions. The artifacts, the temple, this power, it's all a huge mystery to me. Oh yeah, this one's good. Sounds like this is one of the reasons for Constellation's existence.
Yes, exactly.
I had a glitch in
Now
my own
you
speech pattern
understand
just
why
then.
it's imperative that we solve this puzzle. It's funny. I used to think the artifacts were the end-all be-all of scientific discovery, the pinnacle mystery of our time. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would lead to something of this magnitude. I just hope that you'll come through this, whatever it is, unharmed.
I couldn't ask for a better partner on this strange journey. Ooh, and here I thought I was the subject of your wildest... Do we flirt with her? We tried it once and she wasn't into it. I don't know if we want to... You know what? I'm going to try again.
Well, yes, of course you are. Speaking of the power you've acquired, this is all scientifically speaking, of course. Look, I've already taken up too much of your time. All I can do is promise that I'm not going to make you deal with this mystery alone.
Are you guys getting those audio
Whatever
glitches
might
from
be
the game every so often?
I'll be right here to help you every step of the way.
They're not, like, super frequent for me, but every so often it'll just do, like, a little sort of sound, and I don't know what that is, and I wasn't sure if it was, like, my headset or something, or whether or not y'all are hearing it as well. Okay, what do I get to bring back in time with me? Can I bring my modern bow and a knife? Because if so, I think I could make it in here. Yeah, okay, alright, yeah. If I can't bring anything, then I'm going to the 80s. Alright, okay. I mean, here's the problem, right? First off, hi, Harry. Welcome to the stream. We're asking the question of if you had to spend... Also, GSNL, hi. Welcome to the stream. We're asking the question of if you could go back in time and you had to spend 1 year at any point in time, and you can be any, like, person. Like, you're not taking over another person, but you can kind of have, like, any trade, except for you can't be a president or a king or an emperor. You have to be, like, a regular person. What period would you go back to? And now we're having to construct rules for it, because Jake makes an interesting point. If you can go back in time with, like, a Kevlar vest and a machine gun, then you could just, like, one-man the revolution, the American Revolution, and that would, like, drastically change history. I feel like you get to go back, because, like, that's two different lines of thinking, right? If I could go back in time with the knowledge of how to build a combustion engine, I wouldn't be able to build a combustion engine in the year... 2 AD, because like nothing I need to build it exists around me. I'm not going to find the materials necessary. But if I go back to the year 2 AD with just a car, right? First off, I can tell everyone that I'm from the gods, pick a pantheon they sent me, and no one's going to question it, because how do you prove that I'm not? I'm literally in a large... Hold on, wait a minute. What quest line is currently selected? Go back, get me out of here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, the power from beyond, Altair 3. Acquire the power on Altair 3, or talk to Volomir to locate temples. We're going to go do this one, I guess? Although, is this not what we just did? No. No, it is not. Okay, we're going to go to a different system. I could just say that I'm from the gods. They gave me this magical chariot. But then the issue is I'm going to run out of gas eventually. You know, I'm going to run out of fuel. And I'm sure I could find, like, if it's a diesel-powered vehicle, you can do stuff with diesel, right? Like, you can get maybe some vegetable oil or something to keep the vehicle running, and just tell everyone, like, you got to bring me some oil to run my diesel truck on. Then that's like a sacrifice to the gods, and they'll keep it running. But then what do I do with that? All right, so it's the year 2. I'm in the Roman Empire. I've got a jacked up 4x4, and everyone keeps bringing me various types of oil to keep it running, and I'm like, I'm from the gods! But then what do I do? Just drive around for a year? Just give people lifts around the place? Do I help them build the great, like, roads that Rome has everywhere? Okay, Jake's gonna go back to the 80s and invent everything that Microsoft has. And Apple. Okay. Invest. Sorry, not invent. Invest. See, but the issue is you're living there for a year, and then you're just snapped right back out to current day. So how are you investing that? And how are you ensuring that those investments then remain somehow in your possession. Because I feel like, okay, if you go back and you can't take anything with you. By the way, I'm also asking Harry and GSNL this question. If you could go back 1 year, anytime in any point in time, no items. You can't take anything with you but your knowledge and some clothes. So you might want to dress in some period appropriate clothing as well. Because if you drop into the middle of the year, like 300 BC, and just rock up on some people, first off, you can't talk to them. So I guess that, okay, there's going to be language barriers depending on how far back you go. All right. Further refinement. You're going to go back. Whatever clothes you're wearing are the only items you're going to be able to have with you. And you can't, like, sew things into the pockets or whatever. So you're going to go back in time, and then you're. By the way, I think the game froze again. We'll find out here in a minute, but I'm pretty sure it's frozen. It should have loaded by now. You also will be able to speak whatever is the dominant language of the point in time and the place in physical space that you travel back to. So if you go back in time to, 1690s England, you probably already speak English, but your English will be a little bit more archaic, right? You're not going to go around saying, like, yo, what's up to people, because they'll be confused and probably hang you as a heretic. So, and you don't even have to try. You just speak, and it's whatever the magic is that got you traveled back in time will translate it. So if you walk up and say, yo, what's up? If you go back to like 1400s England, it'll be like, and verily I say unto you, how art thou day? So that's all good. We figured that out. We're gonna have to keep making qualifiers like this, okay? By the way, I think the game has crashed again. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Do I just try to? Oh, I don't have a mouse, so I can tab out of it and I can tab back into it. Can I, like, tab my way over to the stop button? Create a family trust containing the investments. A Yates family trust. I like the idea of it. I think that I could go back in time to, like you said, the 80s. And I could, like, convince... Somehow, I guess through just telling my parents everything about their lives, convince them that I'm their son from the future, and get them to invest in like Apple and Microsoft. The issue is, does that change their lives so much that they then don't, like, give birth to me or something? So I feel like that's not the way. A family trust makes sense. I don't really know the logistics of that is the issue. And I'd be worried that as soon as I step back out, I would find out that, oh... whoever you, like, set up to manage it, they stole all your family funds, and ain't that a shame? Da-do. Or worse, like, you go back and then 10 years later that trust is worth $1 billion, and they're like, we have to find whoever owns all this money. We got to get it to them. And then you find out that your parents were contacted because they're, like, the closest that anyone could figure, and then they wasted it all on popcorn. They just bought, like, an entire popcorn factory and a bunch of popcorn makers and poppers and whatnot. Like, that would be super depressing. Star Eagle? I don't know. Was that where we were last time? I need to be more aggressive about my autosaves, apparently, because I keep crashing this game. I don't know. There's probably a new version of Proton out that I should be using for this that I've just not installed or whatever. It says landed, but I feel like we were already landed. We've got the audition set as our current mission. So I think we're going to go back to this. Yeah, okay. Should we go ahead and save real quick? Quick saving. All that's really going to net us, though, is if we crash again. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't try to go directly to the planet. What if we just go directly to the system first? We might have slightly better luck there. Yeah, okay, here we go. Is it going to start yelling at me that I can't land right now until someone does a scan? Couple of extra steps there, but everything looks good so far. Thing is, life is very hard until the 1950s. I wouldn't want to go further back than that. I'm a fighting-age male of simple and meager means. Okay, so your concern is if you go back and you're like, I want to see what life was like in ancient Rome. You drop in. So here's the thing, though. We did say that you could assume sort of the role of anyone. So outside of royalty or anything like that. So if you wanted to go back to ancient Greece or like ancient Babylonia, you could just say that you're a wealthy merchant. Okay, so you travel back and you're there. You're on like a camel. You've got this whole like train behind you of rich goods and everything, and everyone's like, "You're the boss." It's really more of like you're trying to experience the life, and you get to spend a year experiencing the life. And I don't know, can you die? If we just keep changing the rules, it's going to be less and less. You know what I mean? It's just going to continue to devolve into. I mean, at what point are we just like, hey, if you could go into a VR simulation for a year and do anything, what would you do? What VR simulation would you go back to? Maybe that's a better question. That's just simpler. If you could assume the role of any historical figure, that's good, because then you don't have to worry about, okay, but can I speak the language? Okay, but do I have the resources I need or anything like that? You just say, okay, I'm going to go back and be George Washington for a year. But if it's not a simulation, do you go back and ruin the revolution? If you're like, I'm going to go see what it was like to be George Washington for a year, and you go back and you're at one of the great historic battles or whatever, is there a possibility you shrug it up? Is there a possibility you ruin it? And the American Revolution fails? Oh, no. Maybe it's just a day. Okay. All right. We're changing the rules, Jake. First off, I think yours was the correct answer. Go back in time, invest a bunch of money in a company, put it in like a trust, come back to the present, claim it all. Try to do so anonymously. You didn't say this, but try to do it anonymously. Hey, Gilliam, welcome to the chat. How are you? I hope you're doing well. All right, try to do it all anonymously, so that the media doesn't find out and like go into a tizzy. Like, who is this rich magnate that just claimed all this money? Like, you don't want to do that. That's going to cause all kinds of problems. The amount of relatives you didn't know you had that are going to be showing up. Good gosh. It's me, remember me, your old cousin Eddie? I loaned you $50 once, and with inflation, I think you owe me $50 million. You know, you don't want to be dealing with that. Come on, man. Just how about you just help me buy a beer factory? Come on, brother. Help me out. That's Uncle Eddie. Everybody's got an Uncle Eddie. But, okay, so the new scenario, and by the way, Gilliam, you just got here as well. All right, the new scenario is you get 1 day. 1 day, you get to spend it in any role you want, and I guess we'll say, like, royalty or leadership, at any point in time, and don't worry about the consequences, because that just overcomplicates the question, right? So if you decide you want to go back and be... You can't be someone who already exists, right? You can't go back and be George Washington. But if you decide you're going to go back in time and spend 1 day as a soldier for the American Revolution, you can't ruin the timeline. It's fine. It's not a simulation, though. It's real life. Maybe it's an alternate dimension. Who can say? With that scenario, like a single day, I want to do this multiple times. Like, the real situation is, am I actually limited to just doing it once? Because then I'm going to have to pick... Because before, it's like, okay, you got to spend an entire year. It's like, okay, well, which one's going to be the least awful? But now it's, okay, which one's going to be the most fun if I can only do it once? I would probably...
It's freezing here. Oh, I do not recommend extended exposure without our suits.
I want to go back and be... Okay. I want to go back to... Okay, I mean, here's the thing. I'm creating this situation, so I make the rules, I guess, but I'm also, like, unsure of what the rules are. Can I put myself anywhere in time and space? I think it'd be cool to be on the moon the day that they landed, right? The first man on the moon, they hop out, and, you know, it's one small step for man, and then I'm just there, also in a suit, and like, hey, about time you got here! And then I just zip out, and that's it. And for all, like, that's the greatest... secret in NASA history is like they landed on the moon, Neil Armstrong was hopping out, and a man just goes, hey, good to see you, and then vanishes from existence. Do I want to be a troll? Do I want to be a historical troll? Maybe. I want to go back in time, and I want to be the big, like, red-haired giant they found in that cave. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, I want that to be me. So the last day of my life. Holy snap. That sucker got zooming just then. Is it done already? Like, it seems like it should be. Oh, this is different than the last time. Last time it suddenly went third person. Oh yeah, no, this is very different. Anyway. That one got a little bit weird, hasn't it? Goodness. So Gilliam would go back in time to see all his dead relatives and invest in everything. That's a good one. That's a great option. Oh, I genuinely have now... Because I keep, like, changing the rules of it in my head and coming up with, like, other situations where it's like, okay, well, now it's a single day, and now I'm just trolling people throughout history. I guess, okay, I'm going to try to give a genuine answer to this bizarro question that I've posed. I would go back in time, and I would go...
You're entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned.
I would go to the Garden of Eden and say, don't you eat that fruit, gosh darn it.
You are cleared to land at New Atlantis. Please enjoy your visit to Jemison.
I wouldn't do that, because then I probably wouldn't exist, right? If you can change the past, then anything you do might result in you not existing, which would then destroy the universe in a paradox. You know what I mean? Like, you go back in time and you do something that causes you not to exist. That's fine, right? You just vanish. But then you don't exist to go back in time and change the past, which means that you come back into existence. But then coming back into existence means you go back in time and change the past, preventing yourself from ever being born. But then you're never born, so you can't go back in time to change the past. And it just creates the circle that rips the universe in two. And then you're just standing before God, and he's looking at you, and he goes, why? Why did you do this? Everything was fine. Why? And then what am I supposed to say to that? Like, it just seemed funny? I don't know! I would go back to the Revolution, and I would just watch the Battle of Bunker Hill from a distance, right? Just kind of like watch with popcorn. And I would come back to the present, and I would forever bemoan that that was the thing I chose to do. That's the issue. No matter which I choose, no matter what one thing I choose, it's going to be, I'll regret it. No matter what I choose, I'll be like, I can't believe I wasted it on that. I want to go back and look at a dinosaur. Good job. I spent a day hiding in a tree with raptors trying to kill me. That's how I spent my day, when I could have gone back and, like, just watch Julius Caesar get stabbed. Not stop it. Can't stop it, because again, that changes the past. And then I'll ruin the planet, I'll ruin existence in a horrible, just like, rip in time and space. This is a horrible scenario, and I don't know what started it, but I take full responsibility. I am to blame for this. I am 100% to blame for this awful scenario that I put myself in. I think everyone else in the chat had better answers. Somehow gaining wealth is probably the best thing you could do there. Goodness. Maybe I just do that. Maybe I go back in time and I just try to meet Steve Jobs. I'm like, hey, listen, man. I'm a big fan of, like, whatever you're into. What was he into back then? LSD? Like, yeah, man. Tripping acid and seeing aliens or whatever. I'm legit like you. Let's change the world with this computer company,
Seals
man.
Good, air pressure good.
I'd give him the idea for the iPhone early, okay? If I can stay around for a full year, by the end of it I can be like, listen, can you just put my 10% in this box in your backyard? And in present day, I go to... I don't know who lives in Steve Jobs' house now, because he's been dead for a while, but I go back there and just dig up the box.
Still need to lift another set today. Been dragging. Shoulder stiff.
I feel that.
Spend so much time looking at the scans. I can see star systems orbiting in my head.
That's insane, man.
Got one. I'd go into the astronomical charting data with you, but clear as day just to point you right to it.
I agree with you. Awesome. Okay, so we've got another one. We've picked up a couple of new ones, though. Maybe we should look at our powers. So we've got anti-gravity field, which somehow toggle their names. There we go. That's good. Yeah, I prefer that. I still don't remember how exactly you activate this. What does this one do? Cost is 45. Cost is 25. Total power 60. I don't know what that means. So this one's active now. Personal atmosphere. Oxygen, pure and clean, brought forth to breathe deep and counteract harmful carbon dioxide. Emit a gravitational force strong enough to propel almost anything or anyone. Oh, that sounds like a great time. I want that one. What do I do with it? How do I use it? There was a button on the keyboard to do it. Was it like B? Was it V? Was it C? Was it X? Was it Z? It was Z. Oh. Okay, well, you know what? Let's do a quick save here in case we regret this decision. Ah! She wasn't super bothered by it, I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's okay. What about these things? Oh, my powers are... Okay, so it uses the little blue bar below my health, which takes a while to recharge. Maybe the oxygen would be better for running around and everything? I suppose we'll find out here in a minute. What do you prefer? Visit the past for one day as a ghost. Gilliam's figured it out. Okay, first off, I'm gonna go back to your question, but that's the way to do it. It's impossible for you to die. You can't interact with anything. You're effectively just like a floating invisible spirit that can move anywhere about the earth, and you get to spend 24 hours just watching things. That's such a better approach. I don't know why. Basically, it's like, hey, you're going to go to sleep, and you're going to spend a day effectively watching the world through a drone almost. You will be a drone that can go anywhere and watch anything. That is a much better approach, because then I can't accidentally ruin humanity or our future or anything like that. All right. So we're going to come back to that, and we're going to discuss where we would go and what we would watch in that situation. But then also the second part, or visit the future for one day, again as a ghost, so you can't interact or talk to anyone or kind of influence anything. I think it would be interesting to see the future. Especially, you know what, we keep talking about how... Yeah, God Eye! Exactly, Gilliam. It would be exactly like that. Perfect description. You know? Or when you enter your game and you enter a God mode where you can just fly through walls or whatever.
It's released. We're free.
I think that I would want to go to the future. I don't know how far, though. Do you get to choose, or is it random? Do you just hit a button and a machine randomly chooses a number between 1 and 100 years? I think I would be curious to kind of... Okay, I mean, the easy answer is, okay, in 10 years, what company on the stock exchange is going to be worth the most? And then go back in time and put all of my investment into that company and hope that that doesn't somehow change the future. That would be one option, right? Just spend a day perusing the future, go to the stores and look at, okay, what are the new products? You know, try to memorize the results of a newspaper and all that. Maybe bet on some sports games or whatever. Oh, hold on. Who's talking to me?
I just finished cooking up some food.
Grandma?
If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Was that my grandma? Hello? Where did that voice come from? Does Grandma live here? Where's Grandma? First off, this system has a lot going on. There are a lot of planets and moons and a big, bright, yellow sun. But I would like to know about Grandma and where she is and what she's doing. We didn't even get a quest out of that. I must choose. Okay. If I had to choose between the two, I would go to the future.
Landing gear's ready.
100 years might be too far, because I'm probably not going to live another 100 years. I'd probably go 10 years into the future and just kind of see what's up. There's always the concern that you might see the future and come back super depressed because you realize how miserable life will be. You know, when you come back and realize that you will own nothing and no one is happy.
Here and some grass there, and this place might not look so awful.
Yeah, I agree, Sarah. If you completely changed the planet in its entirety, it wouldn't be that bad. I think I already see where we're headed right up there. So let's get our way to it. You will forget everything except for one thing of your choosing. Oh, now you're making it real tough. Because, like, then you go back and you see everything, and on your way back, you're like, I've got to pick one thing that I can't forget from this journey. I've got to remember what the NASDAQ said. I've got to remember, wow, that one baby was kind of funny looking. And then you arrive back in the past, and you're like, oh, all I remember was the funny looking baby! Oh, no! Trip wasted. Oh, no. Okay, Gilliam, yeah, you go back in time, and you realize that, or you go forward in time 10 years, and you realize that yourself is dead in 10 years. Oh, no. Can you find out how? Like, do you go and read your own obituary, and you find out that, oh, while doing some sort of VR simulation, while doing what appeared to be a VR, he got shot by, like, a burglar, and then... Because, like, I'm imagining you're viewing the future through, basically, like, you're in bed wearing some sort of magical VR headset that lets you view the future. And then as you're reading your own obituary, in the real world, you hear, like, your front door, like, the glass shatters. And you're like, oh, no! And someone says, I hear he's got a magical VR headset that we're going to get. Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun! That's awful. That would make an incredible, like, horror short story, right? Oh, man, I've actually now imagined the whole story. It's like, I remember putting on the headset. I was so excited. You know, it goes through the whole thing. He goes to the future. He sees all this cool stuff, and he's reading his own obituary, and as it's happening, he's like, I thought for a moment I heard footsteps approaching, but there was no one around me. Then I realized it was happening in the real world, and it cuts out. It's like, oh. Dude! We've written such an effective horror short here. Alright, we gotta, like, flesh that out a little bit. We're gonna make an internet series about it, and then we're gonna get it published as an actual book, and then someone's gonna turn it into a really terrible, like, novel. I'm excited about this. I'm really hyped for what we've done here together. Fam. The first Howdy Folks novel coming soon. Howdy Folks, let's see. Deadly game, a deadly VR, a future to kill for, a man without time. Ooh, a man without time. That's a pretty good one. Oh, I don't know. Now I've kind of talked myself out of viewing the future because, like, maybe no good can come from that. Maybe I would just, like, view a historic moment from the past. Like a real pivotal moment. It would be cool to fly around the moon and watch the landing. Maybe. Possibly. Right, here we go. We're back to this again. I'm not going to reach that one. I already know it. I'm going to wait for it to disperse. Maybe this makes more sense. Unless, of course, the whole goal is to get them, like, a certain number in a row. I think the secret is to never stop moving. Always be moving. That last one we did, we cleared through much more quickly. Take me through! See, this is what I was expecting last time. This. And that's not what happened. I think maybe we flew through too fast and the game couldn't figure out what to do. You can't talk to anyone, can't interact with anything. It's a hard choice to make. What would you guys do? A man named Reese dies in tragic accident involving an AR headset and video game sharks. Yeah, no, yeah, Jake, that is, yeah. That is what would happen, isn't it? I hope that one day we'll have, like, a federation of planets, just peace on Earth, global warming solved, space travel. But I think I'll be dead by then. That's... Well, GSNL, listen, I think we'll all be dead by then, but would you like to go and see what it's like? I'll tell you what, maybe it doesn't actually matter whether or not I survive the encounter. Maybe it doesn't matter if... Like, you know, I was thinking go forward 10 years and then see that I'm already dead in 10 years. Never mind. Go forward 500 years. No! Why not? Go forward 1,000 years. Heck! One day, 10,000 years from now. That's what I'm picking. I'm locking it in. I want to see how wacky things are in 2,000 years. I can't wait to see, like, fully green human beings who think that ancient men were a myth. That'll be great. Mankind used to live on Earth, and they once worshipped. What was that from? It was a movie I never saw. I think it was directed by Peter Jackson or something like that. The Mortal Engines or whatever it was. They had a great like joke in that movie about the minions being ancient American like deities or something like that, that's pretty funny. I've only ever seen the clip. I've not seen the movie. It seems like, wouldn't it be funny if it turned out that they, like future humans 10,000 years ago, didn't quite understand the past and were of the opinion that ancient mankind used to worship and then like just insert any sort of vanilla object that you're used to seeing around. Uh-oh. They used to worship little... Hold on, I'm hitting E to...
This is a commercial passenger transport liner wanting to alert you about hostiles in the system.
I did not want to stand up just then. Better not be some sort of trick. Space is never done. Glad you made it out in one piece.
You and me both. Us friendlies have got to watch each other's backs out here. Safe travels, stranger.
That's it. I appreciate it. Okay, super future humans think that ancient humans used to worship little like furry deities, and they're actually just finding like old Pokemon cards. And they're deeply confused about it. They're like, this is definitely a part of their religion or something. They used to travel around and try to find invisible Pikachus using special holy scanning devices. They're trying to describe Pokemon Go. That's fun. I like that. Okay, that's a good call. That's a good call. Yeah, you can just watch Star Trek. That's a pretty decent future, is my understanding. I'll be honest, I've not seen a lot of Star Trek, so I can't say for sure. But I've seen bits and pieces of the original series. Star Trek is one of those things where I'm always of the opinion that someday I'll watch it. I just haven't done it yet. But one of these days. You know what? We've been very fortunate in that in this entire time while I've been running around and screaming about... When I go to the past or the future, I don't know! This entire time, we've not run into any sort of hostiles. We've been very fortunate thus far. But we need to keep an eye out. Because look at that. There's a herding... Oh, good gosh. Is that a large insect? It is. I think. It's an abomination. We're going to ignore it from now. We're going to carry on. Just stay away from the vents of toxic gas. Isn't it weird in these games how many planets are habitable, when in reality, we've not really found any of those? It's like, yeah, space is full of, I mean, like, maybe not all of them have advanced, you know, life forms, but it's full of habitable planets, and then actual space is just like, hey, we found a planet where it rains diamonds. You don't want to go there. Be really bad. It's also 200 degrees. Have fun. At all times. Celsius. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'll give that a pass, thanks. We found a planet that might support life. Oh, wait, never mind. The entire atmosphere is made up of actual Coca-Cola. Like, we don't know how, but it's the exact chemical composition of Coca-Cola. It's real weird. Don't want to go there. Oh, Rebels is fantastic. I was a little confused by the comment, Ahsoka is white. Spoilers for Rebels. I'm like, dude, pretty sure she's like an alien. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. I loved Rebels. This most recent season, this live-action season of Rebels that just came out, I wasn't as big a fan of. It wasn't awful. It was just... most of it was very boring, is the problem that I had with the Ahsoka show. Is that... I feel like Dave Filoni should be left to make animated shows. I also feel like maybe the reason the show was so boring is because it's expensive to do cool Star Wars stuff, and it's a lot cheaper to have someone just stand on a set with their arms crossed and look serious. Which is why I'm also of the opinion that maybe we just need... If you're not going to spend the money on it, or you're not going to allocate the money properly, which I think is the real issue, maybe just keep making the animated stuff, Dave. You're really good at it. Clone Wars is great. Rebels is great. Maybe we don't need live-action Ahsoka. Also, I had a lot of trouble. I think all the actors did as good a job as they could do. You know, I don't think that it was bad casting necessarily. But I never once looked at any of those characters and actually associated them with the Rebels, their Rebels counterparts. I feel like, actually, strangely enough, Ezra's was the closest, where I was like, oh, Sarah is being creepy, isn't she? Sarah's being a nightmare. Oh, and that little glitch in the sound isn't helping. This is like something you'd have in a nightmare, isn't it? Look at the dark figure. I saw them on the edge of my vision, through the mists. A dark figure, watching my movements and slowly approaching. A shadow person. This was when I knew I had too much Benadryl. Let's fly away from that, thank you. Oh yeah, Ahsoka. Oh, Ezra was the only character I associated with this character in the show, and even then, only kind of. All the rest of them are just. It's like Ahsoka in name only, and it's. I felt like Sabine's was the worst. I was like, this is not Sabine. It's just not. Hera's was awful too, and again, I think all of the actors in the show did decent. They're all actually talented actors. It might help if they ever emoted anything other than serious face, you know what I mean? This show, Ahsoka the show had a bad case of stern expression. Just all of the characters all of the time. It didn't have any of the fun, lighthearted moments of Rebels. And I missed that in my Star Wars. Please be the last one, I'm begging you. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I think the issue is I keep missing them, but barely. Okay, I'm not even going to bother. That one's going to go. That's fine. That's the one we're heading towards. We can get it. We're going to get it. That's my review of the show Ahsoka. That's it. I think the animations are better than live action. I think you're absolutely correct. Thank heavens. Oh, they're doing a lot of world building and universe expansion, which is why it seems so boring. You could say that about the original Star Wars movies. There was no Star Wars before Star Wars 1977. That did all of the world building, and that wasn't boring. That was like an action-packed movie. Have you watched that movie lately? It just goes, and it don't stop. It's a great film. Did anyone else find... I guess I should go through the rest of the chat. Did not like Sabine or Ezra. Ahsoka's good. Lady Twilight, can't remember her name. Hera, yeah. Which is the series or movie. Every live-action adaptation from Netflix except... I hear One Piece on Netflix is really good. I want to watch the anime first. There's only, like, what? Currently 1,100 episodes? With several more... a couple hundred more to go or something like that, and then it'll be finished. I wanted to like get into One Piece, and so I decided to just like look up the show. And I found an article. It was a forum where fans were like, okay, the writer of the manga has said there's X amount left. So based on how far away or far behind the show is, we could theoretically have this, guesstimating the end of the manga, and then using that to extrapolate the end of the anime and saying, like, it should be done by 2027.
I'm up for a little adventure.
Your ship smells
what?
so much better than that.
When you're at, like, over 1,100 episodes, you're telling me that you should be done by when?
It's my personal savior.
I'm sorry, I thought she said she wanted to talk to me or give me something. I guess I'll get back in the pilot seat. The live action gives a few spoilers. Yeah, I'll wait on it then. I'll sit it out. I'll wait till 2027. It'll be fine. If I start watching now, I'll be caught up by 2027, so it'll be great. Talk with Sarah Morgan. Again, I got up to do that and I couldn't find her game. Where are we off to next? Talk to Vladimir to locate temples. How many of these are there? Are we just gonna like keep pursuing all these temples? I guess we might as well just keep pursuing all these temples. It is what it is. You know what? Let's not fly out of here though. First things first. Let's do
I have something I need
quick
to
save.
discuss with you.
No, you don't, Sarah. You have nothing you need to discuss to me that's so important you need to do it right now, okay? I'm a little bit preoccupied. We've got to get back to... I didn't mean to click that button, gosh darn it. Alright. Need to get over here first. And then let's be specific about where we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to the eye, which is right there. If I X, will you set me a course? I'm trying to set a course for there, and it will not allow it. Okay, what about the planet next to it? Can I set a course for there? Oh, you son of a gun. Very well.
Welcome to the Freestar Collective. Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship.
I have a friend that started a few months ago and loves it. I'm currently watching a couple of other anime. Okay, so historically, I've been asked the question many times. Oh, hold on, what? Oh, gosh darn it. Wait a minute. What are we tracking right now? The audition? No, I want to go do this one. Talk to Vladimir to locate temples. I should have realized we were going to the wrong place. I should have realized. That one's on me. I've been asked many times on many different live streams what anime I've watched, and my answer's always been, like, I haven't. But then over the last few months, I've been watching quite a bit of anime. It all started with... I can't even remember what. I guess Attack on Titan. I started watching that, and then I watched through most of it again with my brother. I was like, this is great! The Japanese, they make good stories! So... yeah, I've just been watching a ton of it. Parasite, yeah, I watched that one 10 years ago now. I never finished it. I think I made 4 episodes in. I was like, this is nuts. Kind of feel like I want to finish it now and see how that ended.
And complete. Enjoy your stay in New Atlantis.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, I've been watching through quite a few things. Lots of different varieties of shows as well. It's all good stuff. Oh, that's sad, Jake. That's sad. They lived their entire existence without the North Star light. They didn't have an expansive universe to integrate and comply with. I think they're preparing to introduce some semi-obscure Legends characters. They have to create the conditions for those. Sure, they're definitely doing like a Thrawn sort of a situation right now. The problem is Elon Musk Thrawn didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? I wasn't super into that all that much. Also, wait, where am I supposed to be going? Am I here? Am I at the eye? Did I just like zoom right into the eye? Oh yeah, it's like... is that it? It looks like it's on the other side of the planet from here. Or is that it right in front of me? I guess I can kind of see it behind the mark. Yeah. Why drop me so far away from it, though, when it's clear that that's where I want to be? Like, I'm going to go through several boosts before I actually arrive, which is frustrating. I don't know. Look, I'm going to stick with it and see where it goes. That's the thing. It's just... looking back on all the Disney Plus stuff, Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 were the only things that I thought were really, really good. Mandalorian Season 3 was perfectly okay. I have not watched Andor. People keep telling me Andor is the best show on there. I've talked about how I've tried to and failed to watch Andor a few times. One of these days I'll actually do it. I hear it's actually really good, so we'll see. Yeah, he looks like your alcoholic uncle, exactly. Also, in the books, so if you read the original Thrawn trilogy, when the rebels would get a success and it would cut back to Thrawn, and he'd be like, "Ah, perfect, exactly what I wanted." He would then explain how it benefits him, and he'd be like, "Oh, they're playing right into his hands." But when they do it in the show, it's like, "Hey, they shot down 2 of our TIE fighters and didn't die," and he's like, "An acceptable outcome." No, it's not. If you want them dead, you could have sent 40 TIE fighters to obliterate them.
Give up my room.
It's just bad. It's bad writing, is what it is. It's bad writing.
Everyone needs space to let their thoughts run solo.
Yeah, so everyone hated Boba Fett. I didn't hate Boba Fett. I didn't like Kenobi.
Coming out of retirement.
I remember starting it really excited because I love Ewan McGregor and I love the character of Obi-Wan and I love his version of Obi-Wan. When Leia was getting chased around the woods in the most cartoonishly dumb chase scene, I was like, oh, that's why this is a mini... oh. Because it was supposed to be a movie. It was going to be a movie that was turned into a miniseries. I was like, this is how they're doing it. They're going to make it boring and dumb. And that's what they did. Someone is editing that into a movie, and I imagine it's going to make a much better, like, 2 or 2.5 hour long movie. than it is. Like someone edited The Hobbit into a single movie. I think it's like 4 hours long, but I watched it not the other day. It's been months ago, and it's a good representation of the book The Hobbit. And it got nothing in it that isn't The Hobbit from the book. And it's a good movie. And then when you look at the three movies all one to one, it's like there was no reason to stretch this out. The Hobbit cannot make a trilogy. The Hobbit is a tiny little book for children, and it makes a really good little book, makes a really good little story. I was hoping you could find me another artifact
Been poring
temple.
over the charts, looking for another match. Think this one might just be it.
Awesome, thank you. Appreciate it. What else have they done? What else have they done for Star Wars on the Disney? So Obi-Wan was a disappointment. Oh, by the way, all the Hayden Christensen stuff in Ahsoka was great. I loved that. It was weird seeing Ahsoka as an actual little child. I didn't care for that. I could do without being reminded that the Jedi had actual children on the front of a battleground, like leading clones. I could do without that. But it was good, and I think the little actress they had for that did great. I don't know. I wish they hadn't made Kenobi at all, or if they had, they'd made it about something else. Why am I boarding? That's not what I wanted to do. Because I liked that the last time they had seen each other was when they fought on Mustafar, and then they fight again on the Death Star, and there's nothing in between. And I feel like it kind of gets ruined when you have them also have another fight on this. Also, he should have beaten Kenobi. He should have absolutely obliterated him by that point. Not good. Not good. Bad stuff. Bad stuff. Disney, bad movies, bad shows. Can't make good stuff anymore. Disney bad. Disney bad and going bankrupt. And I'm glad! Star Wars gets low enough. Should we all just pitch in and try to buy it together? Howdy Folks Productions presents Star Wars Episode 10. A decent movie. That's what we're going to call it. And you know what we're going to do? It's just going to be 2 hours of just a Starfield, like a field full of stars.
Take that, Dad.
Not to be confused with the video game Starfield. That's going to be what the whole movie is, and it's going to be great. You know, people are going to call it an introspective thriller. Never knew what was going to happen next. Some people online will go like, "I didn't get it. There was nothing. It was just 2.5 hours of looking at stars." And they'll get dogpiled on by people on Twitter being like, "You just didn't get the imagery of it all. You didn't understand." But and then we'll just laugh at them because that was the point. It is just 2.5 hours of stars. It is awful. That's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. Or maybe we can just accept that this show made for children. You know, George Lucas always said he made Star Wars for kids. Maybe we can accept that we're just grown adults. And yeah, it used to be good, but it's not good anymore. But who cares, because it wasn't made for us. I don't really like that as an argument, though. When you have a piece of media that's awful, and the excuse is like, well, it's for kids. Because there's so much good kids content. Have you ever watched Phineas and Ferb? Phenomenal show. Okay? Phenomenal show. Phineas and Ferb is one of the greatest television series ever made. Avatar: The Last Airbender. The best animated series ever. Unless I change my mind tomorrow. And also, that's up for debate, you know. It's more of an opinion than it is an actual fact. But I'm going to go ahead and stake my opinion on it at this moment. Best animated series ever made for children. You know? And it was made for children, but that's not a qualifier. It's not like it's the best show made for children. It's like, it's a show made for children, and it's the best show. Amazing show. Okay? Phineas and Ferb are coming back, according to Gilliam. Will it be good, though? I didn't know that. That's exciting, but like, I don't trust anyone to bring something back and have it still be good. That's the issue. I'm unsure. It's great, though. You know, Phineas and Ferb was good, and what else was good? Oh, obviously, Shining Time Station was one of the greatest television series of all time. I learned everything I needed to from those kids, and Schemer, and the lovely Native American man, whose name I don't remember, and Casey Jones, who was played by that one woman from Grease. She was in other things. Mostly in Grease. And then Shining Time Station. What was her name? Her name isn't Casey Jones. That's her name in the show. Great show. Good moral lessons. Good Thomas the Tank Engine clip. So I'm trying to say is things can be made from made for kids and still be good. So I hate when that's used as an excuse. Okay, so they're doing Percy Jackson again. So that's based on a book series that's already good. So as long as you do a good adaptation, right? Like that's all you got to do. You just got to like you have the source material. I've never read Percy Jackson. I've read I think the first half of the first book. And I was like, I get it. You know, I'll finish it someday. I've not gotten back to it, but I will. I'll finish it someday. It's on my list of things to do. But I understand that it's beloved, and I know a lot of people who, you know, they like that more than Harry Potter. So like that's their like YA series, and so you have this good source material. All you have to do is adapt it to the screen. But some people can't help themselves. They're bad writers, and they have to inject their bad writing, and it's ridiculous. Harry Potter, you know, the movie series isn't perfect. I love those books. The movies aren't perfect, but I respect what they did, and I still find them enjoyable. And I rewatch quite a few of them often. I think once it gets down, sorry, listen, Jake, not to insult the family. I don't want to do that, but I think once David Yates started directing all of them, they got a little too bland, and I still, you know, the first two I think were they're very good movies. I don't know how to describe them. They're very cozy, and I like how cozy they are. And then Alfonso Cuarón directed my favorite movie. Not my favorite book, mind you. My favorite book is the fourth one. And that movie infuriates me because it just couldn't adapt the book to the movie. They had to make really dumb, unnecessary changes and omit important things. That has me like halfway excited for the new Harry Potter series because like, okay, maybe they'll be able to actually fit all of the important details into it. But I don't trust anyone to make good things anymore. I don't take for granted the fact that, oh, this thing that I love will be good. Because I feel like more often than not, it's just not going to be. It's so much is just not anymore. There's a new Aragon TV show coming out. Hey, I'm reading through right now. No joke. There's a... So Murtaugh is out, and I've not read that yet. Or Murtaugh, if you're so inclined. I'm pretty sure they called him Murtaugh in the movie, and I was like, I thought that was supposed to be silent at the end, and so I've lived in confusion about it ever since.
Whether or not to talk to you about.
Do you actually, Sarah? Fine. What do you want?
Thanks for taking time to chat. I really need a friendly ear right about now.
Pause real quick. We're gonna see what Sarah wants.
And it's given me a lot to think about.
If it's an emergency of some kind, we can head there right now.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just a list of requests. Things I would normally handle if I was there. But I'm not. I'm out here instead with you.
Okay, well, do you want to go back? It's not so much the message itself, it's what it represents.
Exactly. But let me back up a bit so I can explain. Before I joined Constellation, I served for 8 years as the head of the Navigator Corps, until the UC decided to axe the department.
Okay. Must have been painful, considering that was your department.
Yeah, I suppose painful is an appropriate way to put it. You see, the top brass demanded press-worthy discoveries to justify the spending, and money was tight after the war. Shutdown was inevitable. At the end of the day, I was in charge, so the blame obviously fell on my shoulders.
Interesting. So... it is ridiculous to accept all of the blame.
Oh, like hell I can't. You once told me that you favored the journey over the destination, so I'm hoping you'll understand what I'm trying to say. I failed because I was more concerned about exploring the stars than pushing a pencil. If I had fought harder, I'm convinced our division may have had a chance to prove its value.
No matter how hard you fight, there are some battles you can't win.
That's just it, though. They left me to my own devices, and yet I somehow screwed everything.
I don't feel like we're telling her what she needs to hear right now. So this message, you're taking it as a sign of things to come?
Yes, maybe. Call it whatever you want. My drive, my initiative, my optimism. It's been my greatest strength and my worst nightmare. It elevates me to these positions of authority, but all I want to do is explore, not sit and make sure all the accounts are balanced.
I mean, it sounds like you should just hire someone else to do that for you. You're afraid that your absence will cause Constellation to collapse.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, we figured out what she's trying to communicate. Why she couldn't just say that? Who knows? It's women for you. Just let's dance around the issue until you guess what I'm trying to say. And then I'll agree with you. Or you'll get it wrong and I'll be lastingly mad at you and remember this for the rest of our experiences together. And never let it go. Don't worry, we'll figure this out together.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Oh, here you are trying to help me and I'm yelling at you.
Yeah.
You have to understand. Once Aja retired, I lost the only person that gave a damn.
See, if this was a conversation with a man, we wouldn't have had all that leading rigmarole. They would have just said, you know, I'm worried that if I don't get back and start doing the paperwork, the whole company's going to collapse. To which we would say, it's probably fine. And then we'd continue exploring. It would probably be fine. I'll always be here for you, Sarah.
Look, it's clear that you have feelings for me. It's just, I've never had time for this sort of thing in my life.
Sometimes she's into it and sometimes she's not. And
Please,
again...
It's not you. It's me. I'm just not ready to get that close. I can't. Not now.
Maybe we're supposed to read the room a bit better.
Thank you for being there and listening. It helped. It really did.
Alright, well, at least she let us down easy. We're not giving up, though. Anytime they give us the flirt option, gosh darn it, we're going to take it. Why wouldn't we? Get me back to my ship. Hello? Thank you. Where were we before that whole conversation? I feel like we were talking about something.
When you're ready to launch.
There's a YouTube channel that recorded a lot of content from the Dutch Disney XD Jetix, I think is what that was, television channels. It's really nice to just rewatch some of my childhood favorites. That's fun. I like that. Avatar's coming back with a whole, movies and TV series. See, that's the thing. I would love to have more good Avatar content. They have some books based on stuff that happened after the show that they could just adapt. But will they? Probably not. Argos Extractors is packing up operation on Vectera, but there's no word about Barrett. I need to go there and find out what happened. Oh yeah, Barrett! I forgot about him. How did we know to do that? Did that get communicated with us at some point earlier in the story? I forgot all about the time that we literally just took his ship from him and went on a grand adventure. We should probably go back and check on him now that I think about it. Well, I'll tell you what. We've learned from previous instances that we don't want to jump too far. So let's not jump directly to the planet, in case that causes a crash. Let's just jump to orbiting the planet. I don't know if that's actually what causes crashes. Okay, what else are we talking about here? Suka presided for the new Avatar until they fired the original writers from the set. So, I mean, the original writers wrote... What the heck is happening here? Is this supposed to be happening? It's like they're doing a little dance or something. Hold on, just in case we're about to head into some sort of field of broken geometry. What is happening right now? Oh. Oh. Back up. You know what? Let's just go land on the planet. We don't have time for this. Let's just go land. It'll be fine. Worry about that space situation later. I just finished the first 4 books. Gonna start Murtaugh this morning. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're talking about Aragorn.
It appears
Aragon.
things have gone downhill
Different
since
thing.
the last time you were here. Argos has clearly washed its hands of this operation.
Where's my ship? How did we get down here? How did we get down here without a ship? And how do we... The heck? Did I somehow wander around behind that? I guess that's what happened. Also, though, how did we land here? Aragon, though. Hey, love those books. They're great. I'm reading through this, like, the what is it called? The Lion, the Witch, and the Fork? What is it called? It's like the Witch, the Fork, and the Worm. I think that's what it is. Yeah! Okay, so it's like a series... It's not... How do I describe this? It is a series of short stories. But they're told in a continuum, if that makes sense. It's sort of based around... I don't want to spoil how the series ends, if no one's ever read Aragorn, Eldest, Brishinger... Inheritance? Is that the last one? But it takes up after Inheritance, and it follows one of the characters, kind of going about their daily life post big story plot. If you've not read it yet, by the way, Jake, I see that you're about to go on to Aragorn, or to Murtagh. I'd recommend reading it, because it takes place almost immediately after the events, and it just kind of picks up with what some of the characters are doing. And then there's also going to be... Yeah, the Murtagh series, I think, which is going to be good. Christopher Paolini also wrote a space sci-fi series that I'm going to try to read. I bought both of the books that have been released for it so far. I wish I read more. I want to read more. I need to get back into reading. But the Aragon TV show is being co-written and produced by the author. Good, because I don't think he had much involvement in the movie, and the movie was trash. I remember getting into that series right before the movie was even announced, and then I went to go see the movie with one of my best friends, James, at the time, and we both left. It was like, that was awful. I don't think I'd ever been confronted with a movie that was that disappointing up until that point in my life. I just left so... Okay, you read that as well. Good. What else was I going to say? Yeah, listen, Aragon's a great, quick-paced reading series. It is good. Yeah, okay. We're talking about Fox Kids and stuff. Man, old TV was great. I miss old kids TV. Growing up, my friend had satellite, which meant he got, what was it called? Toon Disney back in the day. You guys remember Toon Disney? Before it was Disney XD? And they would play things like the Tarzan TV show that was really cool, and they had the Buzz Lightyear TV show, and they would also have some of the like older Disney shows on there, so you could get like Goof Troop and stuff like that. And then by the time we finally had, 10 years later, we got satellite TV, it had changed to Disney XD, and it was just like trash. None of that was on there. That was disappointing. Hey, what's up?
Well, you're back.
It's me, Supervisor Lynn. Have you missed me? How are you doing? Lynn!
Oh, no. Don't start. I've had enough Barrett for one lifetime. I don't need the sequel showing up on my doorstep. More pirates showed up when you were gone. We weren't as lucky this time. Calvert, Troy, some of the new Dusties. They didn't make it.
Man, if I knew who those people were, I'd feel so bad. I didn't know.
Well, how could you have? You weren't here.
Don't you try to guilt me, all right? I've been out in the
Pinned down
stars.
behind some crates with Barrett. Bullets and laser fire everywhere. No smile on that damn carefree face of his. Like he knew this was it. I started steeling myself to go out fighting. Then that idiot puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Stay here, Lynn. I got you."
That doesn't sound good.
Not for them, anyway. Barrett is more dangerous than you might think.
Next thing I know, 2 of the pirates are dead, and he's got the third one in a headlock.
Hey!
Drags him out into the open at gunpoint and demands to talk, or else I'm going to demonstrate Newton's third law on this guy's temporal lobe. And that's when they brought out Hela.
Is this Heller a person or like a big dog? Oh, Heller's an individual. I was picturing like big space dog that just like mauls people. Tell me what happened.
I didn't overhear everything, but after the 10 longest seconds of my life, Barrett put his hands up, and both of them ended up getting taken aboard the pirate ship. And that's the last I saw of either of them.
I need to find Barrett and Heller, Len.
They could have grav-jumped anywhere. I tried pinging a transmission to the ship in the comms building before they left, but the pirates must have fried it. You want to try it? Go ahead.
I don't know if what you just said makes
Even if
sense.
you could find them.
I tried pinging a transmission,
I've lost a lot of
and it got
people on this
fried.
run, Dusty. I just want to pack up.
I'm going to say that didn't happen. I'm going to say you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to say my ship should be here and it isn't. And I'm going to be very concerned if when this is all said and done, we're not able to leave the planet because my ship's not here for whatever purpose. Maybe we can fast travel to it, though, and it'll be okay. How do I get inside of this building? I'll tell you what you definitely don't do is what I did to get down here. This is not the move. This is not the move at all. We want to be up there, and now we're down here with no actual, like, reasonable way of returning. We're just doing a big roundabout sort of situation. We're getting a good jog in. All right, there we go. We're now more or less back where we started. I do see stairs right there that go to an airlock, which is probably what was intended all along. Maybe not. Game's lost its dang mind. It has no idea how it wants me to get in there. Possibly up here, then? What the heck? How do I get inside? Is this entire game, like, glitched at this point? It seems like this would be the answer, but there's no way to open this. I'm hitting the buttons that would open it, trust me. Am I dumb? Hello? Oh, Cartoon Network was great. Cartoon Network also, though, I wanted, like, it used to show all of the old stuff, and then by the time we had Cartoon Network, all the old stuff was moved to, oh, look at this, was moved to Boomerang, which we didn't have. So, again, disappointing. But what was on Cartoon Network around the time we had it was pretty good stuff. Let's see, what did they have, like the regular show and stuff like that? That slapped. Ham boning, you know what I'm saying? It's a weird glitch, wasn't it? We're in, everybody. Don't worry. We figured it out. What? Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. That sounds like something you just made up. I've never heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Yin Yang Yo. I've heard of them. I've not seen them. I've not seen Bakugan either. I didn't listen. Okay, growing up, you know what I watched? I'm gonna say it, okay? Some of you are gonna be a little judgmental of this. Growing up, I was a Disney kid. That's what I watched on TV, you know? I watched Disney, and that's just about it. I know, it's a tragic life. Nah. So, I mean, when I was very young, all we had was Disney. And then as I got a little bit older, we ended up getting... we had Nickelodeon, which was great. Hold on, I've got to focus for a minute here, because I'm confused. Okay, that makes sense there. Those two... Those two... So we got these two on the outside and these two on the inside. So that leaves these 4 on the outside. And these 2 on the inside. That can't really go anywhere other than where we currently have it, no matter where we try to orient them. Assuming each one has to go into a lock. Well, I suppose right there. Yeah, that probably... Okay, if that one goes there, and then... See, that doesn't quite work for the inside. It does work on the outside, though. and then this one like that. So those two definitively for the outside. And then the inside... Yeah. Okay. I think we've got it. Boom! Okay, sorry about that.
Picked that easily since I traveled with Vladimir's.
Codename Kids Next Door, I did catch a little bit of. Growing up, though, all we had was the Disney Channel because it came on the regular old cable that we had. And then once we moved towns, we ended up getting Nickelodeon. So there was a lot of Nickelodeon up to that point that I had to catch up on. And I feel like I spent 2 years just binging SpongeBob and Rugrats and... what was the one where they lived in a tropical location, and I think it was like Rocket Force or something like that, and they rode around on skateboards, and... Do you know what I'm talking about? Hold on just a second. What was the name of that show? The kids show... skateboarding. Rocket Power. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah, Rocket Power was great. Dude, Doug, Nickelodeon, and Disney's Doug were both excellent. Okay, the Doug movie, fantastic. All right, both theme songs, perfection. Because there's two different Doug theme songs. So you got the one that's like do 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 do. Okay, and then there's the do 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 do. That's such a weird thing that you don't see anymore with like kids networks. A show being on one network and then moving to another. I suppose it must happen sometimes with some things still, but back in the day, like that was wacky. Like this show that was on Nickelodeon, it's on Disney now. But I don't think Disney ever aired the old episodes from Nickelodeon. If I remember right, they just made a new season and it was on Disney and they never showed the old ones. I'm pretty sure I saw it on Disney first, and I think the first time I ever saw one of the older Nickelodeon episodes might have been on streaming, and I started it and I was like, I don't remember any of these episodes. Were these just never on TV? I suppose that's probably the case. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. What am I looking for? The computer is unpowered. Look for a power source. You notice some auxiliary power banks in the next room. They appear to use the standard power cell. Okay. Did I go and get them? Is that what I'm doing? Let's head that way. I've sort of forgotten what exactly we're doing. No power cell in inventory. Oh, I need to go get the power cells. I see. Okay. I'm on my way. I just had a moment where I'd completely forgotten where we were and why we were here. Let's see. Check for power cells. Nice. They're not going to need that. Hey, buddy. Supervisor Lynn, I need a power cell to repair the comms computer.
Don't see what good it will do since they're already gone, but fine. Here. You need any more? Feel free to scavenge around.
Thank you, I appreciate it. You alright, Lynn?
I'm fine, Dusty. In this line of work, you make do. Even when the worst happens.
Okay. That's pretty sad. Heading inside to steal one more. Animaniacs! Growing up, I didn't. I've seen clips of it since. It looks hilarious, but growing up, I didn't watch Animaniacs. I think that might have been one of the ones that my mom just arbitrarily... Oh, what? Search for power cells. Thank you. My mom, like, there were certain shows that my mom just arbitrarily didn't want me watching for, like, no real reason. I think that was one of them. She also didn't want me to watch Rugrats growing up. But then at some point, I just started watching Rugrats, and it wasn't a secret. It's not like she didn't know. She knew I was watching it. She just kind of stopped caring, and I don't know why. I have no idea. I think she still didn't like the show, but she didn't really care all that much. I remember my sister didn't want my nieces watching SpongeBob, and I sat down to watch them with them, and my oldest niece was like, we can't watch this, we're going to get in trouble. I was like, I don't believe that. So I called my sister. I was like, hey, are the kids not allowed to watch SpongeBob? And she was, what? Oh, no, I don't care. Oh, I just didn't want them to watch it here. It's really annoying. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, no, your mom doesn't care as long as you don't watch it. Still very funny to me. Emergency transmission and incoming ship logs.
Can't believe we got into this mess. Would you be quiet? Trying to make out the grav jump calculations before we're out of range. Out of range of what? Out of range of the sensor array on Vectera. Will you keep up? Once we're outside the star system, the bandwidth goes from instant speed to effectively never. What good is sending a transmission down there? You gonna tell Lynn how royally screwed we both are? She doesn't even have a ship. You underestimate how many of my admirers there are in the galaxy, Heller. One of them is bound to show up, looking to reunite with this handsome face.
That's us.
We're doomed. Capital D, doomed. Got it, okay. Whoever finds this, I'm attaching the interstellar coordinates to the metadata on the transmission. Rescue us. Repeat. Rescue us.
Now we gotta scroll through all the metadata to find the coordinates. Constellation ship, unidentified ship, pirates incoming. Alert, unidentified ship, pirates incoming. Constellation ship incoming. That's us. That's us just now. Okay, we're out of here. I do like how it's like pirates. It sort of asks it. It forms it in a question because it's unsure. Sarah, what the heck is taking you so long to get through these locks? If you just run with me and you stay with me, we won't have these issues. Really? I did not know that. So is it like banned where you can't watch it at all, or is it one of those things where they just won't air it and you have to go online to get it?
So,
I know that
you actually get that computer working again?
the Australians have a lot of problems with censorship. Like if a video game has some sort of like your character takes a drug to get like a buff, instant banned in the entire country, which is silly. Imagine being a grown adult living in Australia and some nerd working for the government says you're not allowed to play this game. We don't appreciate how it portrays drug use. You're no, doesn't matter. Sorry, it'd be like, oh, you're not allowed to play. That is not Australian at all. What just happened there? I'm giving up. I found a transmission from Barrett.
Let me see that. Funny. Even knowing he's alive, I still never want to see him again. Heller, on the other hand...
I will bring back Heller.
Okay. Let me send you the location data embedded in the transmission. Find them, okay?
You bet. I'll do it. Thanks, Lynn.
Be a while before Argos comes to pick me up. I'll be here if you need me. And hey, if you ever need a little extra help, I've been thinking about a career change lately. Maybe it's time to put Argos behind me.
Hey, do we want to bring Lynn with us? Let's do it. Hold on.
Seems like you've been keeping busy, Dusty. If, you find yourself in need of a capable traveling companion, we should talk.
I want to appoint you to my
My
ship.
contract's up with Argos, and I could use a change of scenery.
But I don't want you to actually be, like, walking around with me. Let's see. Is there any way to say that? Are you ready to leave Argos? Okay, working with me. What kinds of things can you do for me? I'll let you know someday. Yeah, you should come along.
For me, I'm not fussy about assignments. I'll go where I'm needed.
Okay. We'll just stick her on the Star Eagle. That's fine by me. Change Supervisor Lynn's Star Eagle? Yes, I guess. You have reached the maximum number of crew assignment to your current ship command level. What does that mean? I guess everyone is assigned... This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's currently assigned to the Star Eagle. It says 3 out of 5. What do you mean I've reached the maximum? How is that possible? Can I change ships then? Is that could I do that? Current outposts. What about like a different ship? I guess that doesn't matter. I guess I can only assign people to my current ship. It says 3 out of 5, which is weird. Change lens, whatever. Let's just leave.
Right. I'll get to work. Let's catch up later.
Well, apparently we've recruited her, so we've succeeded to some extent. Sarah's still trapped inside there, I'm assuming? No, there she is. Good on you. Len's just going. I don't know where to. Where the heck is my ship? What is that down there? Is that my ship? That's going to be really confusing if that's my ship. I think that's my ship. Why is it not up here on the landing platform? We're going to do a quick save and we're going to go investigate. This is very odd, though, because we spawned in on the landing platform. So what is the ship doing way the heck over here? So they stream and dub the anime, but then parents complained and they removed it from the air. That's a shame. That's an absolute shame. Hate that. One of the things I've found with anime is that sometimes the... look, I really prefer the dub over the sub. Alright, I don't want to read my anime, so everything I've watched so far has been dubbed. But they will censor, like, not even necessarily things like nudity or anything like that. Oh, by the way, real quick before we get back on board, if we come into here, I think we can go ahead and upgrade our weightlifting to rank 2. Are we already on rank? Which rank do we have? It looked like we could upgrade. Yeah, there we go. You have mastered this skill. Did I? Is that what that means? Can I really not do any more? Skill maxed out. Alright, well, we've done as much as we can to increase our carry capacity via skills, so that's fun. Nothing else is currently ready to be leveled up. We could, like, get a new skill entirely if we wanted to. Like, we could do gymnastics. What is this one? Unlock the ability to combat slide. That's interesting. Is that the one that also gives you crazy jumping later on? Move faster in 0G, become more stable while firing in 0G, increase jump height, run faster after combat sliding. I like the idea of a combat slide. How do you perform that, though? Let's figure that out. Also, how do we rank this up? Take 100 fall damage. Why would I want to do that? Why are you encouraging me to do that? Hold on. How do you combat slide? No instructions given. Hold on. If we have our gun out and we like, you know what? We'll figure it out later. It's not important right now. We have the ability. That's what matters. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, they'll censor things like not even nudity. They'll censor things like just in the animation. If there's too much blood, they'll remove it. If there is like just weird things. But what I found is sometimes fans will mix the English dub with the original Japanese animation and make it very easy for you to find online. But, you know, the legality of that is questionable. Like, if you already own the Blu-ray, the American Blu-ray, I mean,
something amiss?
You know, you have to ask yourself,
you all right.
yeah, you know, you got the morality question, you got the legality question, which one matters to you? Are you comfortable doing something technically illegal if you feel like it's morally acceptable, you know, because you already own the medium in some way? I'm not saying I would participate in such stuff, not at all, and nor would I ever condone it. I'm just saying, you know, it's something to think about. But I've noticed that fans will do things like that. Fans are crazy, man. So what other anime do you folks recommend? What's hitting for you? We've had a lot of talk about One Piece. I think the Netflix series in particular, but actual like Japanese anime. What are you watching? Also, I suppose this is what we're doing now for the main story, as we're pursuing Barrett. Travel to Prax. So that's just like right here, next door to where we currently are, and I didn't realize it. That is not very far. That is right next door. Have you ever been here before? We're going to take a major risk here, and we're going to attempt to fast travel directly to this crashed ship. And we're going to hope the game doesn't just have a fit. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, no, we didn't quite make it. That's okay. Gonna go ahead and do a save right now. I don't know exactly what I'm targeting. I don't know if this is like a ship or some sort of... Oh yeah, this is like the best ability that we have right now. You can just rip through things with this. And it doesn't appear...
They've taken out their shields. Direct hit to their
We're
grav
back
drive.
on
Their
commission.
target
The
has
gravity
target
shields are
engines
gone.
down.
Boom! Is that it? Is that them? Are they dead? Oh wait, did we just kill our friends? Maybe? Take it all. Take the silver, take that, take the molecular whatever. What is this space station? Is this an evil space station? It looks like a little city, like a couple of little skyscrapers and stuff there. Cyberpunk Edge Runners was really good. Yeah, so I watched that one with the boys. That one was fantastic. Me and Mike and Brenton watched it. We were actually, so there was that show along with the League of Legends show. What was it called? What was the League of Legends show called? Arcane. We're both up for a video game award for like best video game adaptation show or something like that.
Landing initiated.
And it was hard to decide between them because both of those shows are really good. I ended up going with Arcane. I think they both agreed. But man, both of those are really good. I enjoyed both of those quite a bit. As an anime expert, okay, Jake Yates, everyone watching this in the future possibly, as an anime expert, self-proclaimed and proven anime expert. What's happening? Oh no, I don't want to take off! Oh, I hit the wrong button. He's saying that Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! So there you go. Those are the three to watch. Hey, didn't Ash Ketchum finally win a Pokemon tournament? What is he? Is he a Pokemon master now? After 20 years or something like that? I never watched Pokemon growing up. Sorry. Congratulations, Ash. We're real proud of you. You know, you're finally the very best, like no one ever was before. Suits. What is that about? Is that about a tailor? Suits TV show. It's an American TV series. It's a legal drama television series. Oh, by Aaron Korsh, of course. I don't know who that is. USA Network usually produces some pretty decent stuff, though. I hit the right button this time. We're actually getting off the ship, okay? We're actually off the ship this time. We're not leaving for space. And we're going on a bit of a journey to this over here, this crashed ship. So apparently there's some extreme something or another on this planet. I didn't quite catch the details. Do we want to be on the lookout? Do we have something with a better scope than this? We have a knife, but that is objectively a worse scope. Every so often I hear something creepy in the distance. I don't know if that's a creature or what. This is kind of a creepy setup, though. You've got a crashed ship on an abandoned planet in the middle of the night. Two of us are just creeping our way over here, and every so often you hear a noise. This is the setup for Alien, isn't it? And Aliens, for that matter. Right, if anything looks like it's coming for your face, keep your mouth shut. Nothing good happens after that. What's up, dude? How are you doing? Hey, it's Heller!
Oh, hey, it's you.
So chill about it.
I thought you were some pirate coming back to kill me. Lucky me, right?
Absolutely, we're getting you out of here. Hold still, let me patch you up.
Nah, I'll be alright. Just, you know, wasn't trying to move around too much with all the painkillers and nausea meds running through me.
That makes sense, yeah, maybe just take a nap.
You should let us help you. There's no reason for you to have to suffer needlessly.
Man, I was so terrified when I got pulled on board that pirate ship. There it was all, sorry, brother, I'll get us out of this. Trust me.
That doesn't explain the crashed ship. Trust me is my go-to line when someone shouldn't trust me, or so he had a plan then.
Not what you and I would call a plan, necessarily. Oh, I'm getting to that. He tells me we need to start pretending to fight each other. Trick the pirates into thinking they need to come in before one of us gets killed.
And then he stabbed you.
I just remember him shouting, "This kid is a killer. How am I supposed to defend myself against these pearly whites. He's gonna bite my face off.
No.
I mean...
Old crazy cannibal line.
But they came in. All of a sudden, we were wrestling with two of them. Barrett reached for one of their guns.
And he shot someone he shouldn't have, and he shot something he shouldn't have. Yeah.
Blasted the pilot right in the back. Through to the flight console.
Fantastic.
Dropped orbit like a rock off a high rise.
That explains why they didn't get very far.
I blacked out. And when I came to, there he was, smiling like it was just another day on the job. You missed the fun part, Heller. I mean, I go through all the trouble of saving your butt, and you weren't even awake to notice.
Great story, loving this.
And he did the little finger gun thing.
Yeah, listen. It's a video game. It's fine. You got to run around in space with a gun out, just waving it at everybody, okay? Because you never know when someone's going to turn out to have like an alien monster inside of their torso. Barrett isn't here. I need to find him.
Oh, yeah. Probably should have talked about that first. Did I mention I'm on a lot of painkillers?
You must be having a wonderful time.
So, I was really
This is going to get this game banned in Australia.
When a ship showed up. Then, less excited when I realized it was a Crimson Fleet ship.
Ooh.
And then, really less excited when Barrett said, "It's okay, I got this." He mumbled something to him, and then they were all gone.
So he just like left you here. Crimson Fleet has him again. That was a long way of saying pirates have Barrett.
You know, you're really the one who should be upset about all this. Me, laying here, half-conscious. Real inconvenience.
It is, though. I have other things to do. I have conversations to have with the live chat. We're talking about important stuff here.
Barrett, haven't really been in a good space to have a listen. Here you go. Hey, I should come with you, right? I don't think anyone else is coming.
Should we get you back to Argos? No one else is there. Let's get you on your feet first.
Yeah, just, don't ask me to operate any heavy machinery for a while. Give me a minute. I think the worst of it is... Yeah, I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Ready to wisecrack with the best of them. Let me know when you want to head out.
Is he... recruit him to crew. We're all out of room for him in our crew. I guess we'll recruit him, though. It doesn't hurt anything.
There might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
How many people can we recruit? Can we just have everyone recruited? Yeah, let's keep going.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that. For a second there, I thought you were gonna leave me behind. What's on the agenda today?
Off he goes. I do want him on the Star Eagle, but it's going to tell me that there's no room for him aboard the Star Eagle. We have 2 people unassigned on the Star Eagle already.
Catch you on the flip side, boss. Thanks for letting me tag along.
And then he's just going to wander off as Lynn did and end up somewhere. Someday we'll have like a base of operations or something we can send him to, where he'll be okay. What do we need to do next, though? Where is Barrett? Listen to emergency transmission number 2. Righto. Where is that going to be located, eh? Aboard this fine crashed ship here? Maybe over here among the wreck and the ruin? Maybe just back on my own ship, perhaps? There's actually no instruction on where to go next, so I think we're going to have to just kind of piece it together for ourselves. We probably just need to head back to our own ship, which I think is in this direction. It's the direction he's headed in, and he must know where to go. There's also a strange tower over there, but my understanding of this game is a lot of the stuff you find on the planets is like procedurally generated with sort of random nonsense in it and no real thought to the player experience, which isn't fun. I don't care for that. I don't want random nonsense. You know, what I would like is a nice curated experience. You know, if I wanted random nonsense, what was that? What was all that pink? That was odd. Little pink sparkles. If I wanted random nonsense, I'd go play No Man's Sky. It's got better random nonsense than this. You have an opportunity to find something truly broken and random. Yeah, I mean, the entire ship basically crashed due to no one following gun safety. Now that you mention that, you make a great point, Jake. And thank goodness for it. Why is everyone shouting about finding things for me? I don't have the patience for it. Do I need to, like, interact with something aboard my ship? There's not really anywhere to go from here. I'd assume they haven't left the planet. There's got to be a piece of equipment on board the ship that is going to let me, like, listen to a transmission. I don't know what it's going to be, mind you. What is this? Hold on. This is the cargo hold. Okay. You would think something along one of these walls would be the transmission. Captain's locker. Maybe we just have to get behind the ship and then fly, and it'll come in. Like, sometimes you'll be flying around, and it'll be like, incoming message.
Man, the galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place.
I'm with you, Sam. I agree.
Some mining anywhere?
Heller, shut up, alright? I'm not in the mood for your nonsense right now. Would you rather ask one question about the past or ask one question about the future and get the answer?
Hello.
I think... Ooh. That's the problem when you're limiting it to just the one. Because you have to figure out, like, what would my question be for either of those scenarios. I think if you asked about the future, you might drive yourself crazy. If you were to ask it, like, will I ever get married? And it says yes. But then you're like, wait, oh no. But oh, but when? Oh, I should have said when. When will I get married? What if I'm like 80? And, oh no, what if it's like some, like, 20-year-old who's just marrying me for my money because I'm terminally ill? Oh no. And then you're just like fretting about that, and it ruins your future. I think I'd rather ask about something that's already happened that I can't change. So I'd do the past, and I would ask, did the CIA kill Kennedy? Or something like that, you know? I would want to get to the bottom, like, did aliens land in New Mexico? In Roswell? Something along those lines. Like, get a real mystery. Figure out a real mystery and get it answered. Like, get the solution to something. Yeah, that's true. Transformers did build the pyramids, according to the Transformers. That's what I would want to do, I think, is get the answer to, like, a real proper mystery. Hold on a minute. What does the actual thing say to do? Listen to emergency transmission number 2. How? How do you want me to do that? Do I need to go back to the wreckage? That doesn't make any sense. Let's take off. Let's go to space. Let's see if the game then tells me to come back to the planet. I suppose, yeah, Transformers are aliens. Yeah, no, you're right. They're from another planet. That makes them aliens. And they're alive, in a sense, I guess. I would want to get...
We're locking into orbit now.
Maybe ask what happened to Dennis Martin, or something like that. You know, figure out what happened to that fella. Or maybe the... Did the Saskets really exist? You know, because that's where we get the Sasquatch from, is the Native American myth of the Sasket people, who were like a tribe of not humans who live out in the woods, and they live in these caves. Well, no, they wander the woods, and they live in caves. And they... Hold on a minute. Do I have it on my inventory? Is that the situation? They're big and hairy, and they're basically the Bigfoot people. Is the humans... aliens for Earth. I guess if we went to Mars, we would be aliens in that sort of sense. I need to find this emergency transmission situation. Hold on. Listen to emergency transmission number 2 Starfield. Let's see if anyone else got confused about this. Okay. All right. You may hit a roadblock when you're tasked to listen to emergency transmission number 2. If this were Fallout, you'd pull out your Pip-Boy and tune into the appropriate radio station. How do we do it? Okay. Listening to emergency transmission number 2 is simplicity itself rather than an active radio broadcast, which may be where the confusion over this comes from. Emergency transmission number 2 is just an audio slate in your inventory. Inventory, probably under notes. Note for Sam, secret out. There it is right there.
You've given the fleet a lot of trouble, Barrett.
Hey, since when is surviving being attacked causing trouble? Isn't that just fighting back? Hey, pilot, could you move your arm a little bit to the left? I can't make out the console.
Don't move! He's trying to figure out our destination. Probably transmitting this conversation right now while we're still in orbit.
Hey, don't give away the plot.
Yeah, thought I was making that pretty obvious. Okay, put the gun down. I'm done. See? My retinas are pointing away from the console and towards this lovely view of space we have out the window.
Tie him up. Once we get back to the base, the fun starts.
Well, that's pretty dark. Okay, so I did see that Jake Yates asked who Dennis Martin was, so I pulled up the Wikipedia article. Are you ready for this? Okay. Dennis Martin, a 6-year-old resident of Knoxville, was visiting the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, along with his father, grandfather, and older brother on Father's Day weekend in 1969. The camping trip was a family tradition for the Martins. The family hiked from Cades Cove to Russellfield and camped overnight. The next day, they hiked to Spencefield near the Appalachian Trail, or Appalachian, if you're so inclined, where they planned to spend the night. Martin disappeared on June 14th at 16:30 while planning on surprising the adults with his brother and other children from a separate family the Martins were camping with. He was last seen by his father going behind a bush to hide, intending on surprising the adults with the other children. After not seeing him for about 5 minutes, and when all of the other children had returned to the campsite, his father became concerned and began searching for him. His father ran down the trail for nearly 2 miles until he was sure he could not have gotten any further. After several hours, they sought the help of the National Park Service Rangers. The area where Martin disappeared is marked by steep slopes and ravines. Wild animals such as copperhead snakes, bears, feral hogs, and bobcats inhabit the area. A downpour broke out shortly after Martin's disappearance, dropping 3 inches of rain in a matter of hours, which washed out trails and caused streams to flood. The temperature on the night of June 14th dropped to nearly 50 degrees in freedom units, 10 degrees communist. Search efforts, including a separate search by the National Guard and Green Berets, found no trace. Heavy rains during the first day's search and heavy mists the next days hampered efforts. Up to 1,400 people were involved in the search effort, potentially obscuring possible clues. Footprints were found in the area but were dismissed from the possibility of being Martin's by park officials, who determined them to have been left instead by a Boy Scout participating in the search. The child-side footprints led to a stream where they disappeared. The tracks indicated that one foot was barefoot, while the other was in an Oxford, the type of shoe Martin was wearing, or a tennis shoe. Retired parks ranger and author Dwight McCarter believes that the prints likely belonged to Martin, as the tracks were not part of a group and none of the Boy Scouts were searching while barefoot. By June 22nd, 56 square miles of ground had been covered. More than 1,000 searchers continued to look until June 26th, when the search was cut back. The search was abandoned on June 29th after the last search. The search was officially closed on September 14th, 1969. As of 2023, it is still the largest search in history of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. So, Dennis's father offered a $5,000, equivalent to $39,000 today, reward for information. Psychics, including Gian Doxson and other frauds, offered clues, but nothing was found. A few years after, a ginseng hunter claimed to have discovered the scattered skeletal remains of a young child in Big Hollow, Tremont. He kept the find to himself until 1985 because of fear that he would be prosecuted for illegal ginseng. A subsequent search turned up nothing. Almost like he lied for attention. But no one's going to say that because that's a rude thing to accuse someone of. The unsuccessful search of Martin led the National Park Service to review and amend its policies on searching for missing people. Okay, so, to summarize, all the kids are like hiding, they're going to surprise the adults. His dad sees where he goes. He goes and hides behind this one particular, would say bush or rock or something. He sees him go behind that and he doesn't come back out. After about 5 minutes, he's like, Martin! Or Dennis, because his last name was Martin. He walks up there, kid's not there, he freaks out, he runs down the trail. No one finds hide or hair of him. No one knows where he went. What happened to Dennis Martin? Okay? So what are your theories? Mr. Ballin did talk about him. Yes, that's true. This is like a really intriguing one because there's some other details. There's like unsubstantiated claims that there was an individual there by themselves and maybe he like snuck up and kidnapped Dennis. But then also you find that footprint where one of his shoes is missing. It's clear that it probably was Dennis. But then why was Dennis alone? And why was he just walking randomly? Like if he went and hid behind something, what prompted him to then go, never mind, I'm going to go so deep into the forest they never find me? Why would you do that? What could have crept up and got him in such a way that he couldn't like scream or cry or get someone's attention? There's also the story of a group of people who claimed they saw like a Bigfoot carrying a boy, but like, is that true? Who can say? Was it a bear? Whatever got him, it either had to go with them willingly, or they got him in such a way that they were able to silence him quickly. But if they killed him, surely someone would have found like the remains of a bit of blood splatter, or if it killed him, then how was the footprints made? Big mystery. I would want that one solved. That or the little boy that disappeared on the walking trail. That's also a pretty good one. They ended up finding his remains, though, but never did conclude what exactly happened. But that's also a good little mystery. Where am I headed to next? We're heading to... back over to here. But this time to Bessel instead of Piazzi. Let's go. I'm ready. Take me there. Zoom zoom. It keeps like mentioning like fuel consumption, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be worried about that because I've never once fueled up. Can I run out of fuel? Is that possible?
Jump complete. Normal propulsion restored.
Okay, so that's an interesting theory. Occam's razor. Kid died by accident and the parents covered it up. So there were other people there. Oh, hold on.
There you are. I am so rare that someone new comes along. From the sidelines, it's a real treat to see everyone scrambling. It's very profitable as well.
Trident ships are incredibly expensive.
Oh, this whole thing? I suppose it did cost a few fortunes. But it
Just a
is
few.
nice to travel with a modicum of style.
Who are you? What are you talking about?
I don't even know if it will ever be. But hope and my pocketbook springs eternal.
This cryptax is
There are
bugging me.
rules even I must abide by. Or at least I choose to. It may mean nothing, but I'm rooting for you.
Rooting for what?
Sorry, can't say. Hopefully all will make sense in time. Good luck.
I have no idea what you're talking
I remember
about.
being on your side of a conversation like this. Just don't give up. I hope to see you at a much later date.
Are they just leaving now? And they're gone. Okay. What an odd little interaction. What a very odd and confusing little interaction. I wonder if that's relevant to the current like side quest that we're doing, or if that's relevant to the greater storyline. I actually have no idea at all. I have no clue whatsoever. So, ooh, one of the kids accidentally killed him, and then one of the adults covered it
Ready
up.
for touchdown.
I'm not saying that's impossible. That's definitely an interesting theory. It's not one I've heard before. I feel like someone would have talked about it by now, you know, because this was back in the 60s, and I feel like someone's guilty conscience would have been like, okay, look, this is what happened. My older brother, we like tackled him, we were playing around, and like snapped his neck. I don't know. I like the more outlandish theories.
There's a non-zero chance that this planet once thrived with life. Amazing, isn't it?
I suppose it's one thing to theorize. It kind of looks like a ruined, abandoned, and uninteresting wasteland right now, but I guess the idea that it wasn't at one time is kind of interesting to theorize about. Also, there's some bad guys that direction. We need to be careful about this. Normally, this is the part of the stream where things get really frustrating because I start dying a lot. Even though I think that in all of these sort of missing person cases, there is a very rational explanation that's really boring. I like to think about the crazy stuff, because I don't really believe in Bigfoot, but I like the idea of Bigfoot a lot. So anytime I have the opportunity to be like, man, I bet Bigfoot did it, you know, I'm almost always going to take that opportunity. I like it. I like the theory. Okay, hold on. I have a better weapon for this, I think. Should we try to sneak up behind that guy and stab him with our knife? Because we have a knife. Oh, shoot. Oh, they found us. Thought we were being super clever and sneaky. Perfect. Clean.
Show me what you've got.
Show me what you've got. I'm with you on that one, Sarah. All right, hold on just a second. We're going to come back to the theorizing about Bigfoot here in just a second. I've got to figure out how to get through here first. And the one thing that I cannot do is talk and play games at the same time. I think anyone who's been... Well, here's the thing. I can keep saying words, right? But that's different than having a conversation or talking or saying anything coherent. You know, I simply cannot concentrate on not dying at the same time that I do anything difficult, because my brain can't comprehend both words and actions at the same time. It's like trying to have a conversation while snowboarding. I simply lack the ability to snowboard, actually, now that I think about it. I don't want to destroy the turret. If I can find a way to take over the turret, that'll be a much more useful thing to have. Also, give me the outpost key. Give me the ammo. What you got? I just took whatever was in there already, and I have no idea what it was. What is shooting me up there, eh? Am I crazy, or was I being shot from up there? Oh yeah, look right there. Am I hitting them? I don't think I'm hitting them at all. Alright. We're gonna go. We're gonna go and we're gonna hide for a second. We're gonna take a moment. Oh! No, I forgot. I changed that to 9. There we go. We're doing pretty decent, I think. We're doing pretty decent. We're gonna go ahead and do a save. You know, having now successfully eliminated one target, we're gonna go ahead and say we don't want to have to go back and redo that. What on earth? What is tomorrow? Minecraft Live. What is that? Is that like a new Minecon thing they're doing, but live? The outlandish theories are fun. They are rarely the answer. I don't know if they're ever the answer, you know? You believe in Bigfoot and aliens? Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. We need people to believe, you know? Because if you just, reject it without any proper evidence that it's not real, then when the evidence shows up, what are you going to do? Oh, this lock is too difficult. Okay. You know, you're going to reject it. You're like, hey, I've got actual living Bigfoot here. And he's like, hi, I'm Bigfoot. Like, no, that can't be real. Oh. Wait, is that Sarah right there? Did I just shoot Sarah in the head? Oh, I feel awful about what I have just done now. I feel really bad. Give me those bandages. You're doing great, Sarah. Hang in there. We're a bit closer, so I was hoping I'd be able to hit. But also, we're now all out of ammo for that weapon. Wait, are they... Did you kill them?
Nice.
Gosh dang it. Hang in there. Hang in there. You're doing good. Come on. Why is my gun, shaking so much? Look at it. It's glitching out before our very eyes. All right.
Picked the wrong day to piss me off.
Yeah, you tell them, Sarah, and also keep them distracted. We're going to try to maneuver around behind them. This might be the move. This might be, the greatest move. Is that... What is that? Is that, another ship or something? Okay. We're definitely currently hidden. They don't know that we're here yet. We might pull this off. I want to point out also we figured out how to do a combat slide just then. You have to be sprinting Hold on. Just like that. That's how you do it.
Just give up.
Okay. Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything. Well, that was a letdown, wasn't it? Oh dear. What is this weapon? Yeah, get this out. This is the move. This is it. We're about to run out of ammo on it, but that's okay. We got both shots.
Had enough.
Not yet.
Let's do this.
This is like a proper shootout in the OK Corral. It's a shootout in the all right corral, I guess.
Best you can do.
Possibly.
Let's do this.
I don't want to take another healing right now. For some arbitrary reason. Hey, can I just, like, shoot that? Did that damage them? It looks like it might have knocked them on their feet. Oh, they're on fire. Oh, they're going down. That was the best move we could have possibly performed, everybody! We did it! We did it! Oh, technicians refined pirate something or another. I just want your credits and your ammo. I don't want your weapon. Well, I'll take your weapon. It's fine. I'll go ahead and take that. That's good. And we'll go ahead and do a heal as well. That is... I keep hitting 0 because I forgot that we changed it. We probably need to actually set it back then. I had no idea you were up here with me, Sarah. I'm not going to lie. I did not realize you'd followed me. I thought you were still way back there, like being productive or doing something useful. Where are the enemy? There's only one left. I only see one red dot left on the mini-map. But I don't see them. It looks like they're like dead ahead. Somewhere in that corner, in that vicinity. Oh, and now they're gone from the mini-map entirely. Alright, well we need to take some fall damage. I don't think that quite did it. Hello? Is there anyone here? I don't know. Maybe Sarah killed him. I don't know. Let's get inside the Crimson Fleet outpost. We've done an excellent job so far. I haven't watched Once Upon a Time. I remember seeing the trailer for the season where Elsa was going to be in it. If that's the same show that I'm thinking about. And that looked interesting, right? But no, I didn't watch it.
Oh, yeah. There's no certainty to the universe at all. Once you really start getting out there, the laws of physics kind of turn into suggestions.
You're pulling my leg again, right? What's the weirdest thing you've seen?
Do we just watch this conversation?
This time.
Let me think. Unicorn. Not kidding.
Wait. The mythical mare with the magic horn thing? Come on. Was King Arthur riding on it too?
Okay, it was more of an extremophile in the vague shape of a horse. But my point still stands. You need an open mind out there. You go into the far reaches of space too tightly wound, your brain is just going to pop like a soda can.
Interesting little conversation we've just overheard. Okay, so we've got the Jake Yates theory on Bigfoot. I even think Bigfoot is likely a species of humanoid that convergently evolved alongside us from apes. Not as intelligent, but not as dumb as Neanderthals. Neanderthals, you'd be surprised, not that far removed from human. Homo sapiens came from Africa. Neanderthals came from Northern Europe. Why can another humanoid have evolved in in Americas before the migration from the Russian land bridge? Yeah, you know what? I think we've discovered now that there were probably humans here before the crossing of the Bering Strait, or there was some sort of civilization here before that. That predates that situation. Did you know that we all have Neanderthal DNA? True story. Go look into that. That's fun. And then What else was I going to say? I had one other point. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the theory of the Saskets. The Native Americans back in the 1800s who would talk to sort of American explorers about the Saskets said that they weren't human. They weren't like another tribe of Native Americans. They would be described sometimes as like cousins to humanity, but not quite human. But they would apparently, again, live in caves, and they could communicate, right? Like they didn't necessarily always speak the same language as the Native Americans in the different regions where Saskets or Sasket-like beings lived, but they were capable of learning it and communicating, and they just wanted to be left alone. And so, if you're a believer, if you're a true believer, the going theory is that it was actually just another breed of, not breed, I mean that's a weird way of describing it, but yeah, kind of humanoid, just living alongside the Native Americans who were just like, hey, don't come in my cave and leave me alone. Leave me be. Which, I mean, to be honest, if I found out I was 50% Sasket, that would make a whole lot of sense. Just leave me be. That's all I want. I would accept that, no problems. Do we need to be cautious here? We do have gravity powers we've not used yet.
Holy shit. You actually found me.
I'm here!
I wish I could say this is the first time this has happened with Barrett. But, well, it isn't.
Well, this is turning into a regular Constellation party, isn't it? I should have brought drinks.
Yes. I don't know why, but yes.
Well, you didn't need to worry too much. Matsura the Grim here is actually a wonderful host.
No reason captivity should be unpleasant.
Sure.
See, that's what I mean, Matsura. Real considerate.
I have enjoyed our time together, Barrett. But I can't just let you go with nothing to show for it.
Okay.
Is Constellation willing to pay ransom in exchange for this man's freedom?
Hasn't Barrett been enough trouble? Ooh. We do have some insurance set aside for this exact problem. Interesting. I like the persuade option better. Hasn't he been enough trouble? Just let him go.
You want me to end all this with nothing to show for it?
Yes. Yes, I do. I know you'd like to help me if you could. I don't think he would. You clearly get along with Barrett. You're friends. We could say that. Look, Barrett's more trouble than he's worth. A lot of pirates are already dead. Ooh. You seem like a reasonable person. Cut your losses and let Barrett go. Okay, it's between these two. It's between these two. I'm going to go with number... Oh, this one's risky. I'm going to go with this one.
You
yes!
seem to be unusually skilled in that area.
This is like gambling at this point, where you just roll the die and you hope for the best. Also, yeah, I do see like, Satan or whatever is trying to glitch through the game screen right now. I'm seeing it happening. Good night, Gilliam. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you sleep well and you stay safe. All right, we're praying for you, and we're praying for Israel right now. So do take care, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Also, let's see. I'm glad you're starting to come around to my point of view. You clearly get along with Barrett, your friends. If you wanted bloodshed, you would have attacked already. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, look, we only need to get 2 more. So you're clearly friends.
He has been more entertaining than most hostages. Barrett has some good friends.
Yes! And we can also upgrade persuasion.
Very well. You're all free to go.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure, Matsura. Really. And good luck out there with all the, hurting people and taking their money.
Unbelievable. I mean, we could just, does he have useful stuff
He's
on
free
him?
to go. I do not encourage you to return.
Got nothing to say to you.
Nah. It's not worth it. He doesn't have anything good on him. Let's get out of here. I think, you know what? We came, we saw. We have the ability to now, if we wanted to, upgrade, which I think we do, because we really do enjoy persuasion. So we can get rank 2 persuasion, I think is what we're at. No, hold on. Which one are we up for? Unlock this rank to increase the skill. So both of these 2 are available. I didn't realize you could skip one. I thought they went in a row, but it looks like I can choose either of these. Unless I'm very much mistaken. So 20% increase or 30% increase. Unless, you know what, maybe this one is... No, you know what? Rank up or... Like, this one's locked, right? Rank 4 is unlocked. Rank 3 is available. But why does it also say that I can rank up rank 2? Does that make sense to anyone? I'm confused. I'm very confused. Which one of these two do we go with? 30% increased chance of success when persuading someone. I guess I'll just pick that one. So does that mean I can do it again at some point? I'm so very, very confused. Okay, succeed in 10 speech challenges. I guess we'd already had that one unlocked. I have no... Hold on. Look at this. See how that one's solid and that one's solid. But then there's like a stripe through this one and this one. Does that mean that those two haven't been acquired yet? Did we just leapfrog this one and we can't get it now? I was confused about that back here as well, because I didn't think that we'd... Yeah, hold on. So it said that this one was completely maxed out, right? Maybe I'm just... Maybe, you know what? We're going to leave. We're going to just not worry about that screen. We'll come back to it later. We're not going to worry about it right now. We're just going to carry on. We're going to assume that we've unlocked all of that in a linear fashion and nothing is broken, and it all makes perfect sense to me. That's not Satan. Okay, well, I mean, you know what I mean. It looked like something trying to glitch through the screen. It looked very confusing. I'm not sure what that could have possibly been. Also, Cub is a throwback. That's like a... How long ago did we do the name change to Howdy, folks? Because it feels like it was a decade ago, but I also feel like it couldn't have been that long. It just happened again. I feel like it could not have been that long ago. Neanderthal... Not that Neanderthals are stupid, just setting the scale. Okay, no, that's fair. That is fair. There's a lot of stories of kids. This is another interesting thing. Being taken by what they describe as bears into the woods. Like, this happens shockingly a lot. I know of at least 4 stories. There's probably more. But it's just kids taken by bears into the woods to, like, just be fed berries and, like, you know, tucked away inside of the little structures, these little crudely built, like, huts and things. And that's weird. And it could be that people go out in the woods and they build a fort, and then later a bear moves into it. I've seen a theory that certain types of bears, maybe when they lose a cub, they just take in a human child and are like, yeah, this is my baby now. And then if there's already a pre-built fort in the woods that the bear's living in, that explains why there's this weird crude structure. But, like, that's happened a few times now, and that's odd. That's a little bit weird. And again, I think that the solution being that it is just like heartbroken bears finding little people, like little humans, and being like, this is my replacement bear cub. I'm gonna do a Tarzan with this thing, and also I'm gonna take it back to the hut in the woods that those regular human children built once that I now live in. I like that. That makes sense and is not shocking or surprising, but also, what if, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that one's weird. I think a lot of those instances, Jake says, the stories about kids randomly disappearing from cars or homes or parks within a second of the parent looking away happens a lot. That could just be a case of, uh-oh, you know, like you were saying earlier, uh-oh, my kid's dead. I don't know. He was just in the backseat of the car, and then suddenly he was gone.
But nothing is better than unwinding in your own quarters.
Agreed. Hey everybody,
Service, Captain.
I'm back. I have more superpowers, and look who I brought with me. He's here.
Well, some of us were.
I see what you did there, Walter. And I know you've been secretly crying into your piles of money just waiting for my return.
Actually, Walter has been complaining about you more than usual, which is always a sign when he's worried.
Don't start, Kadri.
Wait, is that? And to think the first artifact was taking up dust on the library shelf. Now look at them all.
Isn't it a bit odd that all of these artifacts form this floating ring, and we just happen to have a table in the middle of the room with a viewing sort of thing around it?
Comforting.
Like, was that planned, or was that just already there?
Not 100%, plus I feel guilty dragging you into all of this. Why don't I stick around? Help you get adjusted to the weird corners of the universe.
Traveling together sounds good to me.
Marvelous.
If you have a moment, I have something I'd like to discuss.
Lay it on me.
I guess he's just like
That's all I have too.
assigned to our ship. Now, wait, come back, Sarah. I actually want to keep you with me.
Something for me?
Head back out.
I'm glad you're back. Let's get moving.
Sarah! Sarah, good to see you again, my dear friend. I expect to hear some exciting tales when you two return.
I'll try, but I doubt any of them will compare to the spectacular tales that we hear you spin.
I'm getting a ton of mission objectives and whatnots. Okay, so can I make sure that Barrett goes and stays on my ship by bringing up the, like, ship tab, and then we go to crew, and he's there and he's unassigned. So all three of these, I think at any point I can just assign them to something, but not to my ship, because apparently I've run out of room on my ship, but I think if I level up, I will be able to add them to my ship somehow, but I don't actually know how to level up at the moment. Also, can I not just assign people to here? Crew, press C with... okay. Can I assign people to a ship that I'm not currently flying? No, I can only put them on the Star Eagle. It's unfortunate. Alright, well, whatever. That's fine. It is what it is.
The quarters available to you.
These eyes? You think these are soul-sucking eyes? I mean, they're definitely soulless, for sure. Oh, well, I think that does it for today. We've been going for like an hour or something? We've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
With the quarters available to you.
Oh my gosh! We've had a lot of fun, I think. We've mostly... I mean, we haven't done much in the game, have we, in terms of progressing the plot, but we've had a lot of fun conversations about Bigfoot and the stuff, and it's been great. We've checked in with Gilliam. We know that he's well for now, so... Thoughts and prayers to Israel right now and to Gilliam. You know, if you're the praying type, please be praying for Gilliam and his protection and for the whole situation. But hey, thank you folks for tuning in. God bless you too, Jake Yates. God bless all of you. And we'll see you next time. We might do... Moving into November, I think we're going to find... Vasco, shut up! For the love of all things, can't you see I'm trying to end the stream? You're just behind me, you won't be quiet. Is there anywhere I can go to get some privacy around here? Close the door. Close the dang door. Okay. Sarah, don't be like this right now, please. Please, okay? So, we are probably going to actually make the move at some point before the end of the year to the 5 videos a day instead of the 6. So,
quick, top 3 one-liner moments.
Yes, Barrett. Number 3, your retort to the Crimson...
Thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Number 2.